So, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is me, Dr. Dang, and along with me, as usual, is going to be Lucifer as I welcome you all to AMD Ryzen Presents Sky Esports League 2021, powered by WD Black, platform partner GoGame.Live, connectivity partner at FiberNet, and broadcast partner Loco. Today we have an intense game lined up. Today it is Delhi taking on Rajasthan, the top one versus the top two. And that is definitely a game that no one wants to miss.
Man, this is going to be really interesting. Rajasthan Strikers versus Delhi Dragons. Rajasthan previously managed to beat them, but this time is it the same case? Because Rajasthan have had their losses, have come up really strong after those losses. So today, I'm not too sure if Delhi Dragons again stand a chance. Because previously, when Delhi Dragons fought against Rajasthan Strikers, the matchup was really intense. They tried to fight a lot, but Rajasthan re-strategized during the match itself and moved from an aggressive play to a little bit of a strategic aggressive play, and as we saw in Heaven and even the other maps. So today, if it's the same case and Delhi does not manage to stop Rajasthan's flow, it's going to be Rajasthan walking away with the flawless, and they're already at 14.5 on the points table, whereas Delhi yesterday moved down to the third position. Till date, they were either on the first or the second. Yesterday, after Hyderabad won a match, they've moved down to third, so they need to make a comeback on the top two.
That is true. They definitely do need to make a comeback, but I still feel that for Delhi, it is going to be a much better day today because the last time Delhi took on Rajasthan, it was a very, as you can say, interesting matchup between both the teams. Rajasthan was in their initial streak of just walking through every single team, and they did what they did best. But Delhi since then has picked up pace as well. Delhi is not the same team that we saw in the start of the tournament. So I think moving forward, we are going to be seeing a very tough and a very stiff competition come out from the side of Delhi because I'm pretty sure that they do not want to let their fans down, not at this opportunity, not at this stage in the tournament.
Yep, I completely agree with you. This team of Delhi Dragons, for me as of now, I consider them kind of the underdogs, because the team that they've grown from how they started to where they are is completely fabulous journey. Because Ghost, Rafuel, Hika, Badman, SMX, all these players being there, playing their part, do play it really really well. So I'm looking forward to if they manage to do this again here, because previously it did not work out great for them in a couple of matches. That's the reason they are on third. Otherwise, they would be very close to where Rajasthan is standing.
That is true. I think that um, as far as things go in terms of Delhi versus Rajasthan, I think we are at a very good stage where we can safely say that we are going to be having a very strong competition, or rather, we are going to have a game that is very hotly contested. Because when that competition comes in, when that competition starts off, it's all just about two things: one, clout; second, the prize pool. And the prize
Mhm.
pool that we have here, that is very, very big. The prize pool is 15 lakh rupees, the biggest prize pool that we have ever had for any Valorant tournament in India. And Lucifer, why don't you walk us through the breakdown of that?
Yep. India's biggest Valorant tournament has the biggest prize pool for each and everybody. With 15 lakhs being the prize pool, champions will walk away with 6 lakh 50,000. Second place will be walking away with 3 lakhs. Third place, however, 1 lakh 50,000. Fourth place, 1 lakh is the prize that has been allocated. But for the other people also, because as a participation, there is also 5, 6, 7, 8 who will be walking away with 50,000 each. However, this is the team prizes. For the individuals, we have two really good prizes: AMD Ryzen MVP, which itself bags 50,000, and the WD Emerging Player of the Season, which also is 50,000 for an individual player. So, out of the clout of that they can get, the bragging rights being a champion that they can get, they can also get the AMD Ryzen MVP as well as WD Emerging Season of the Player. And for somebody to get in this big tournament, AMD Ryzen Skyesports League 2021, which is the India's biggest Valorant tournament, it's just like, as I said, it's a topping that will just shine as bright as a champion's title.
That is true. I think that for any player to get that emerging player of the season and all of that, even the MVP of the tournament, that is a huge deal because not only do you have a lot of players in the tournament, but you have a lot of good players in the tournament. And when that
Mhm.
happens, well, you need to make sure that when someone is getting the top prize out of those, either as the most valuable player or the player that emerged out of the bunch, you have to respect it. And obviously, if someone is going to be getting that, they're definitely going to be good players. It's not like someone who is not a good player will ever be able to get a most valuable player or get the emerging player, because you have to
Right.
be the best of the best among the players that you are to get that prize for yourself. And well, stats speak from them for themselves.
And that's what these teams will be fighting, because these were the reigning top two teams in the points table till date. Yes, Hyderabad won a match and they made a comeback, but it's all about Rajasthan Strikers versus Delhi Dragons for today, and they will be battling it out for again getting on the top two spot. I mean, Delhi Dragons will be battling to get to the top two, whereas Rajasthan is comfortable in their first position, have a huge lead with 8 matches played. However, 9 matches played, Hyderabad is not far behind. I guess only 1 point is where they have to catch up, but we do have even intense matches for the next 6 days.
That is true. We do have a lot of intense games planned out for the next 6 days. I mean, we have intense game planned out till the start of June, but this is
hmm
just the next 6 days and what you can expect to see. So let us walk you through that. So May 7th, it's going to be, or rather tomorrow, it's going to be Kolkata taking on Bangalore. And well, you know what happens when Kolkata take on Bangalore. It's going to be Deathmaker versus Rossi, irrespective of what you think. Then it's Punjab taking on Rajasthan, followed by May 9th, which is a Sunday. So you'll have Bangalore and Hyderabad in El Clasico, and then you'll have Delhi and Kolkata. May 10th, it'll be Chennai versus Rajasthan, a big game for Rajasthan as well as Chennai. And May 11th, we'll make our way back to another Bangalore versus Kolkata, followed by Delhi taking on Punjab on the 12th. But if we speak about the top 5 content creators, Solo 292 kills, top of the content creator leaderboard. He is going to be looking to extend his lead, but he has Rebel to face off today with
hmm
277 kills in second, Hydroflick at 251, Zishu at 203, and Fatu last but not least, or rather fifth but not least, and at 185 kills.
I mean, this is just going to be great matchup of two best content creators, I would say, Solo and Rebel. The man Rebel has been really amazing throughout the tournament. Solo, however, has been playing together with the team because he's a little bit of an initiator as well as sometimes a controller. So his roles have been changing. Whereas for Rebel, it's mostly and probably the raise. And so him again coming here today, he already has an ace in his name. So it's
Yep.
going to be really difficult for Solo also to make that kind of an impact, because there's just 20 kills difference, and we have seen Rebel pulling off a 30 or a 40 kill after a match.
That is true. I think we've seen Rebel really pop off when his team needs him to on that raise. And well, even if he's not able to get a kill, he's still an important part of the team of Delhi. So you have to watch out for him, because suddenly out of the blue, Rebel is going to pop off and be like, all right, you know what, I'm here. Here's my presence. And well, these are 5 rounds that I took on my own. But speaking about five, we have the top 5 players. We have Rafa at top with 9 matches played from Mumbai, 500 kills. Binks second, 9 matches played, 456 kills. MW1 8 matches played, 450 kills. SMX 8 matches played, 408 kills. And then Rossi 6 matches played, 396 kills. So well, if we go by the number of maps versus number of kills, Rossi is really leading that average right now.
Completely agree with you. But today, MW1 will be playing out of these people. There will be SMX who's making a comeback today. So these two people will be fighting it on the board to make their mark or changes in the points table, I would say. But 500 is where Rafa has made it in. So it's going to be really difficult to catch up, yes, I would say, because Rafa has been popping as a duelist and Sentinel also in recent times that we have seen. But however, it's all these skills matter are for the points, and the points table, Rajasthan as of now with 8 matches played, 14.5, they're standing so super strong. Look at the second position, it's 9 matches played for the Hyderabad, 6 matches won, but they have only 13 points. The difference from both these teams is the number of bonus points that Rajasthan has bagged.
Yep,
That
that
tells you where Rajasthan can go.
Rajasthan is at 2.5 bonus points. That's five
Hmm?
games flawless out of the 8 that they've played, and that is absolutely insane. Like, That is 15 maps that they have taken without taking a single loss. But they've lost two, yes. But if you look at it, Bangalore's lost two as well, and Bangalore's played two less games compared to what Rajasthan has. So, in terms of what we are seeing from both of these teams, between Rajasthan and Delhi today, well, that is going to be absolutely insane. So, as we speak about the both the teams, we're going to be having the map veto. So, Rajasthan, being the home team, has the advantage. They're going to be getting a choice of two maps versus Delhi only getting one. And well, Rajasthan has chosen to go to Ascent and Haven. No real surprise. They're one of the strongest teams on Ascent as well as Haven. And well, not choosing those would have been a surprise instead. While Delhi has chosen to go to Bind, a map that has favored them quite a bit. But so has Rajasthan been a very
Mm.
strong contender on Bind as well.
Yep, that's where I'm also fearing, because last time there was a team that picked Bind and they could not complete it or close it in front of Rajasthan, because we know how good Rajasthan is on Bind. They KO'd, they knocked out the previous champions on a 13-0. So, yes, there will be a lot of fights going through in Bind, but at the end of the day, the victors have been Rajasthan strikers. So for Delhi to pick up this second map, I'm looking forward to if they have made their right choice and if they will be walking in strong. But that will be the second part of the day where they will be going to match up on Bind. However, the first map is Ascent. Both these teams are really, really good on Ascent. Rajasthan have got into a couple of losses, but have also had their domination in certain rounds. So I'm looking forward to this. Is again going to be an equal matchup, and throughout this tournament, Dang, Ascent is a map which is like picked from most of the teams, because most of the teams have played it so many times and they're getting used to it. And yes, I would say every team is getting good, and gooder. I mean,
Yep,
better.
that's true. I think that um, throughout the tournament, Ascent has really been a map that has gotten better and better for teams like Rajasthan because they've just kind of figured out how they want to play that map, and well, it is clearly working in their favor. So there is no real reason to say that all right, maybe Rajasthan versus Delhi is going to be any different because both these teams have figured out how to play Ascent really well. Rajasthan, we know their mid presence is very strong on that map. Delhi on their defense is very strong because Delhi just loves to hold.
Mhm.
Either it's
Yep.
Binks on that KJ or it's Rebel on that Raze. Either ways, you always expect something new coming out from the side of Delhi, and that is where Rajasthan needs to pay attention to because if they don't, well, Delhi is not going to give you a second chance. Delhi is not the team that will be like, all right, you know what, you made a mistake. It's okay. We'll not capitalize on that mistake and we'll let you do as you wish. No, Delhi is going to be like, oh, you made a mistake. I'm so sorry, but this round is going to go to us. Here is a
Yep.
free eco from our side.
Yep, Delhi is one team in this throughout in the whole of the tournament. Their strategy starts off one thing in the beginning of the matchup, but as we progress, they understand the team very fast and they adapt really good. We saw yesterday Hyderabad Nawabs. They had a strategy which they had already enforced, and they were just going abiding by those strategies. However, Delhi is not such a team. They do not start off with only one thing and end up with the same thing at the end of the day. They make sure they adapt to the opponent, because at the time of when they're fighting, they understand that opponents can also switch, opponents can also make changes through their lineup. Yes, they would have played a similar lineup in the same map in the previous matchups they had, but everybody's seeing those matches, everybody understands what kind of strategies can come through, so teams are changing it, and Delhi is one of these teams have been adapting to the opponent's games really, really fast. So today it's going to be a very good matchup between Rajasthan and Delhi. I would say last time when they matched up with Rajasthan, it got a little bit difficult for them to understand the strategy and recover their pace and get it back to their foot. But the problem was Rajasthan was a bit too aggressive, and once somebody is aggressive, you cannot put forth your strategy immediately without shutting down that aggression coming to you. So I think that's where Delhi took a little bit of time. But now that they've had a long gap, where they've not played with Rajasthan, they've played with other teams to understand what better they can do, and they've won matches against the other teams. This should be something really good for Delhi, as they have played so many teams and now they're matching up back with Rajasthan. It should be really good, where it can again, we have seen Rajasthan going for a 1-1 and then getting the last map without bonus. Till date, I think after the loss they had, they haven't pulled back a flawless victory. They've been having two map victories where they've carried 2 points. So if Delhi have seen this and know that where Rajasthan is trying to improve and manage, as you said, any kind of mistakes that they spot the smallest, because Rajasthan's mistakes are very, very small. It's hard to find, and that's where teams try to aggress from the side of Rajasthan so that their mistake is not spotted very easily and make some different play out of it. So if Delhi managed to spot those little intricacies, today it should be Delhi's day.
I agree. I think that um I here's a surprising thing for Rajasthan. Like Rajasthan's played 8 games. So yeah, they've played 8 games. They've won 5 flawlessly. They've lost 2, which means that they've only taken 1 win with a 2 point win
Yep.
for them. So which means that if in terms of number of maps dropped, they have dropped only 1 in a win that they have had, and they have dropped 2 in the 2 losses that they've had. Basically that tells you that Rajasthan is a team that goes all out. Like either they're going to go in and absolutely annihilate you 3-0, or it
Mhm.
could go either way. So for Delhi today, the most important thing is going to be preventing Rajasthan from taking a map. As long as they can prevent Rajasthan from taking a map, keep the pressure on the side of Rajasthan, well, that is where you find Rajasthan start to crack. That is where you find the small mistakes become slowly become bigger. They become
Mhm.
mistakes that you can capitalize on. The cracks that you see become valleys, and that is where Delhi needs to put Rajasthan in, because under pressure, that is where Rajasthan is making the mistakes.
Yep.
The most difficult part though is going to be putting them under pressure. They don't come under pressure very easily, but when they do start to crack a little bit. So if Delhi can force that agenda of putting Rajasthan under pressure, well, I think that is where we will be seeing Delhi take a win or not.
Yep, I completely agree. I mean, once Rajasthan start moving into a phase where they start worrying about how are these points going away from us, how can we get back our own map? If you start doing that to them, it's going to get really difficult for Rajasthan to make a comeback, because after that happens, when they start cracking, they all go into an individual play sort of a mode, or individual aggression where there's no exchanges coming in, no trades coming in, or bodies just falling randomly and free picks coming for the opponent, and Delhi can capitalize, as Dr. Dang said. But Rajasthan strikers are also one team. Even though they've lost two matches, they've never let the opponent go away with the bonus point. So
That is,
that's going to be
yeah.
really difficult.
That's true. I agree. I think that um, where Rajasthan is very good at is um, preventing teams from doing what they love to do on their own agenda. So basically, if Delhi loves to push market and they love to push market every single time, well, then Delhi is very good at preventing that. Sorry, Rajasthan is
Rajasthan.
very good at preventing that. But at the same time, Rajasthan can make a mistake in holding that when
Mm.
they don't know what is happening. So if Delhi gets something new out of the book suddenly, they have never shown a strategy off, and Delhi pulls that off, well, that is going to put Rajasthan in a position where they are second guessing themselves. Is this still a market push? Is this still a market push? Is it going to be a
Yep.
B main or an A main? Are they going to hold for picks? Are they pushing aggressive? Are they going to sneak in somewhere? Those are the kind of questions that Delhi will have to ask today, because if Delhi does not, well, it will not be a very smart decision to go textbook against Rajasthan, because
Yep.
Rajasthan themselves go very textbook. They know
Mm.
all the counters. Their players are very well versed with how they want to rotate, how they rotate, when they rotate, where they rotate to. So the how, when, where, and how, basically for Rajasthan is going to be very simple. So you need to make sure that you throw Rajasthan into a pit where they are not sure what is happening. The second that is there, you have the advantage over Rajasthan. And when you have that advantage, do not let it go.
Yep, and Delhi has really good players. Individually speaking, as a team speaking, also they're really good. And yes, the main reason Mumbai, if you saw, Mumbai was the first team that shut down Rajasthan, which we did not have an idea if Mumbai could do that. But Mumbai showed up a new face. The only reason they did that was, as Dr. Dang mentioned, it was not a textbook play. They knew there was a shot rush coming through trees, but they did not completely rush into side. They put Rafa on the back where he went into mid, went into CT, and then did a complete backstab to 3 to 4 people, because of which the side of Rajasthan completely were thrown off and did not know what would have happened there. So these kind of plays, where initially Rafa made that push, but he made it with his ultimate, because of which he could reposition himself, make a comeback, and then completely rotate, where his team held ground. This is the point where teams need to communicate really well. And Binks, being that IGL, made sure his team does not completely rush into trees and try and take control, because Rajasthan's crossfire, especially with MW1 on the arena, Jet with Sai, or even any other controller agents, if um, Blackhawk, Shivi, anybody playing, it's going to be really difficult. I'm not Shivi, Rexy playing. These people will make sure that you are not easily crossing into A main, or I mean A site itself. So you need to understand that Rajasthan, as a textbook, has read it all. So there's nothing out of the textbook that you can pull, and anything that you pull out should be out of completely a new chapter that you're writing on your own book, and that's how Delhi will be managing to do it. But Delhi as players have Badman, Hika, Raw Fuel, Ghost, SMX. These people are like insane. Each and every player. Ghost, as that duelist on Jet, has pulled off so insane shots. Something for us to even worry about. Raw Fuel, whenever Ghost was not there, he made sure those shoes were filled of the duelist, and he did the same or even more damage to the opponent. So teams are really good. Hika on that controller on Ascent, he plays a controller on Ascent, he plays it exceptionally well, and his team does not have to worry about flanks. So if they play the similar way here, and make sure, as we talked about Mumbai, how they manage shutdown, if they find another out of the book strategy, then it should be really difficult for Rajasthan to counteract it today.
That is true. I agree. I think that the real reason that we see a problem with teams dealing with how Rajasthan and Delhi play is the fact that their strategies on their own, they're already very well developed. Like if you look at
Mm.
Rajasthan, you see that, oh, on Ascent, mid is something they love to hold, mid is something they love to push, they deny mid control, or they love to take mid control really fast. So that is a trademark of what Rajasthan does. Versus if you talk about Delhi, they love to push A main, B main, they love to sneak a player through mid rather than push mid and take control. So every team has their trademark way of playing it. There are counters to that. So what these teams do is they try to play around what they are going to be expecting as a counter strategy for that. So maybe you see Delhi push into mid a lot later. Maybe they push into mid
Mhm.
if they hear footsteps. Otherwise, they don't push mid at all. So it's plays like that, small plays that change the way that a game is eventually going to be played between both these teams. So I am very excited for Ascent. So am I for Bind,
Mhm.
because Bind is a map where Rajasthan 130 against Hyderabad. So
Yeah.
that just tells you that they are a very very strong team, and they are a team that you do not mess around with on Bind. But Delhi has chosen to go to Bind. So how is that going to pan out? Not sure. How is that going to play out? Not sure. But irrespective of any of those any of those situations, we are always going to be having a very hotly contested game, because as we said,
Mhm.
it's number 3 in the points table right now versus the number 1. Number 3 does not want to let number 1 have the top spot for so long. There are only a number of games that are left before we head over into the playoffs, and well, every single team is out for blood. They want the revenge. They want that rematch as soon as possible. And well, as for Delhi, they're getting a chance today.
Yep, it's Delhi's chance to. And as you said, Bind was a map that was picked from Kolkata as well. But Kolkata did show up a really huge fight on that. But Rajasthan did manage to close it at the end of the day. So teams have tried to pick and shut down Rajasthan on Bind, unable to do that. So today, I mean, having Rebel, who plays really well, especially on Bind as a race, that should be something interesting that I'm looking forward to, and that's where I look forward to them capitalizing on front of Rajasthan. But still, there is Sai, there is MW1, MW1 who was playing so much Rena, has switched over the character, as we saw, because if most of the teams have started understanding how to play MW1, how to shut him down, and that's the reason a couple of matches were lost. But MW1 realized that he moved into a two different duelists. If you've seen, he did play the Jet in a couple of matches. He then picked up a Rena on Ascent itself. So I mean, sorry, not a Rena, a Phoenix on Ascent. So the team of Rajasthan, in terms of what they're picking in terms of agents, has been evolving, and in terms of their position, has also been evolving, because they do not want to let go of any further matchups, because the bonus point that they had in the 5 matches that they won is the reason they're on top. If they lose any more matches, they'll start going down because there are other teams who are getting bonus points, who are making their yesterday. The only difference between Rajasthan and Hyderabad now is 1 point, because Rajasthan is at 14.5. Rajasthan is at, I mean, Hyderabad is at 13, I guess. Yeah, 1.5 difference is what is only left. Generally, the difference was nearly 6 or 5 points. That
Yep.
is huge. So Hyderabad is coming closer. Delhi was already closer just because of one match they're away. But today they do stand a chance. And for Rajasthan, it's like every team is hooking onto them and trying to pull them down. And Rajasthan here needs to tell them, you cannot pull us, and cut those hooks off as fast as they can.
Yep, that is true. But let's talk a little bit about agent selection as
Mhm.
well. Let's talk about what we can expect to see from these teams. So, well, we have some information as to what agents these players love to play. We have some information as to what agents these teams love to play. So, Lucifer, let's have a quick let's have a quick Q&A about that. So,
Mm.
as for you, what do you think is going to be the perfect lineup that Rajasthan will be looking to go for?
Rajasthan on the map of Ascent, they're starting on attack. There will be a Jet. There will be either a Phoenix or Rena from MW1, because yes, he has been changing that in this. There'll be a controller. I think most probably an Astra coming in, because yes, a lot of teams have been switching into Astra because they know how much more powerful Astra can be on, especially on Ascent, because there's mid, there's mains, there's sides which they can put into Gravity Well, Nova Pulse. We've been seeing crazy gameplays. There'll be obviously Rexy with that Sova, and there'll be a sentinel from the side of team Rajasthan, either a Cypher or a Killjoy. This is my pick for Rajasthan. What would be your pick for Delhi Dragons?
Well, for Delhi, I believe that we are definitely going to be seeing a raise. Either it's going to be Binks or it's going to be Rebel. There has to be a raise.
I'm sorry, I have to stop you here. Bings plays on Mumbai
Oh,
Aces. Yeah,
my
too many
bad.
teams.
Too many teams and too many names to remember. My
Yeah.
bad. So Rebel on that raise. I'm sorry, Rebel on that raise. But right as we speak about that, we're about to head into the agent selection itself. So I'll quickly cover up the agents that I feel are going to be coming out from Delhi. So well, I SMX, he has to be that Sova. He's going to be either on that Phoenix or he's going to pick up a raise. But Rebel is there as well for the race. So maybe we see something like that. Badman, he has to be this. He has like just pick the cipher, bro. Like he's really good on that
Yeah.
cipher. Like don't pick anything else. And as for Ghost, well, either the Jet or something else. But it's really a duelist or a controller that he can pick up.
I mean, see, this is what some for some Blackhawk is not playing here, but there is Harsh and Wimp playing. Wimp generally plays the Sentinel for the side of Rajasthan Strikers, but recently, in the previous matchup Rajasthan Strikers played, you saw how well Harsh played on this cipher, and him playing that cipher really well placed. But again, as I say, Sai and MW1 have picked up the agents that we mentioned about, and Wimp, I'm pretty sure, will be going for an initiator. Solo, however, has not played an
Select
Astra,
your
so Astra
agent.
not coming into the picture. As we saw, Omen is being picked, but look at the Delhi Dragons. They've soft picked everything, but we know that is your pick. Nobody's going to change from the side of Delhi. Those characters are like properly lined up for them.
Yep, I agree. I think that the lineup that we are seeing from Rajasthan, very straightforward. Oh wait, are we going to be seeing? No, we are not seeing identical lineups. We are going to be having a difference. I believe it is MW1 on the Phoenix versus Rebel on the Rays. That is the
Yes.
only difference that we have between both these teams. Ghost, he picked up that Jet. I mean, do we really need to say anything for Ghost picking up a Jet or Sai picking up a Jet? Because there is no real reason to contest both of them when they're going to be picking an agent for themselves. So, with that out of the way, I think that it's time for predictions. Let us get the predictions from chat as well, and then we can head over to ours as well. So, Lucifer, Ascent, Rajasthan, or is it going to be Delhi?
Ascent will be going to Delhi. I will give my call to that with a 13-11. And if they push it to overtime, Rajasthan, I think it should be Rajasthan's map, if and only if they go to overtime. What do you think?
Well, I think that I don't know. The last time we saw both these teams go up, Delhi played it really smart. So, um, I'm going to be going in with I'm going to be going in with a Delhi win. Right as we speak about that, recon into mid, and Well, the rush is on. Three players all slicing through market are going to be taking this quickly. Rebel won't have a chance because MW1's flash is going to put an end to him. He has the frenzy. The hot hands get dropped for CT. He's going to make his way in. There are two people in backside. One is going to get spotted, but Ghost comes out on top. Badman holding that flank is going to get Sai as well. Wimp gets one. Wimp gets traded out. No, he does not. Hika gets that trade onto Harsh, but Ghost is going to fall to Wimp. Solo picks up a classic for him. He's running out of bullets, and well, it's going to be down to a 2v2.
What a quick match that was. Man, things just turned out. But Vim playing this so close angle will manage to shut down Hika now. It's all up to Batman. This man, we have seen him clutch. He's shut once down. He finds Solo. He needs to shut Solo down. And it does. Batman taking a 3k in this map already on the first match. Man.
Oh,
What was that? What a fast pistol execution was that? And Batman.
I mean, the man is just insane in terms of him. He had the advantage in that gunfight because he had the higher ground. And as for Hika, as for Solo, he had to turn around, realize where Badman was pushing from, and then take a frag. While for Badman, it was only that a head would pop up out of nowhere. So, yes, that was something that Rajasthan should have ideally locked out because that rush was really, really strong. But still, it did not work out, and now they have to figure out how to take this eco for themselves. As we speak about that, it's going to be a spray, but MW1 comes out on top. Hika is going to fall. That's an important frag. The Omen getting taken out is going to give up tree control. MW1 getting another one. Ghost is going to get that refrag, but the Cypher Cage gives the position away of Harsh as Badman is going to pick two. SMX joins that party, and it's all down to MW1. He gets one, but is not going to be getting another as 2-0 quickly for Delhi. Well, it was the eco and the bonus for Delhi, so you can't blame Rajasthan for dropping that, but still a very, very good a very good recovery from the side of Delhi.
Yep, that's really good coming from the side because it was, as you said, it's a bonus point that they managed to recover with so many rifles to be dropped. And for now, they would have to go for broken or even force buys at this moment. And you can see what Delhi is trying to do. They're trying to figure out whether they should go for an investment because now it's a complete buy. Or did the side of even Rajasthan force the previous round? I think so. Yes.
I think MW1 did force, but I'm not sure whether the entire team forced with him. But as we speak about that, Ghost, he's going to come in, pick up Harsh, and well, that's the cipher of the board. No more flank watch, but Solo, he's got his own sheriff to make a mark with.
That was, again, you look at this because it was a force, I guess, from the side. You can see only pistols across the board for Rajasthan Strikers and batting without, as SMX will more two people with that close spectre spray. Again, 3-0 for Delhi Dragons. Delhi Dragons are standing strong, really good on the first half of it. Yes, the force did happen in between. That's the reason 3-0 came into the picture. But now it should be equal buys across the board for both these teams. And now Rajasthan needs to make something better. But if you guys want to make your own predictions, head over to @SkyEsports League on Instagram and click on the poll where you want Rajasthan or Delhi. The fans, you can just let us know, and we will be showing that poll in some time as we progress.
Yep, that's true. I think that once we get enough votes in, we're going to be showing you the progress that we have on that. But right now, progress is going to have to start from the side of Rajasthan because they are not going to be having a great time. But Sai, he's going to start things off. MW1 is going to join that party with the run it back, drops the hot hands as he will get reset. But the damage has been done because Sai has joined that party, and Sai is going to continue that party as he just rushes in. And a 4k for the man on the jet.
Wait, okay, Sai?
Can we
He
call
just ran over.
can we call MW1 the ace stealer again?
Yeah, man, that was like so quick, so fast from the side of Sai. He just went in, and that was good. You saw the covers were down for the side of team Rajasthan Strikers. MW1 went into trees. Sai had to only worry about A side or ramps, and he did the perfect thing where he found one kill after one another, and he managed to shut down whole side of Delhi Dragons. And Delhi Dragons, I'm not sure if it's a tech pause from Delhi or Rajasthan because yes, Rajasthan won the previous round, and you felt the heat coming in from the side of Rajasthan, right? Because how fast that was on the full buy, that just tells you the potential where Rajasthan can still start moving things around. And as we talk about moving things, in case you guys have any questions regarding the matches, any questions or points table, anything related to the League 2021, shoot out your questions to with the hashtag Ask Esports on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, and we will pick some interesting questions and talk about it here during the stream.
That's true. I think that, you know, everyone has questions, and it is necessary that they get answered by someone, either by your
Yep.
friends or by the casters or by the analysts. So, either ways, just shoot us your questions, and well, we will get the best ones in to get, to make sure that you guys get an answer for it. But as we speak about questions right now, it has been Delhi who has been asking all of them, but Rajasthan, they came up with a quick answer. They came up with a strong answer, and they told Delhi that, you know what, it's not going to be an easy game for you. Make sure that you keep your you keep your wits about yourself. You do not want to let this go out of your hands. But as we speak about that, the timer has been unpaused, so we will be seeing, the round proceed further. As we look at the economy, not so great for Delhi. Ghost, he's going to play on his ult with a frenzy and a full shield. Not the best, if you may ask. A vandal would have been better, but still, sometimes the storm blades can deal a lot more damage and can be a lot more forgiving. But he's going to pick that kill up onto MW1, and that's a huge kill, getting the Phoenix off the board.
Rebel is just popping now. Rebel already has a 3k in his favor. First openings were done by Ghost. Now Hers, it's all up to him. He's so low on 11 HP. They're just searching for him as Rebel wants himself a 4k. He spotted him out. He is low on HP. As Hirsch will manage to shut him down. It's 11 HP. It's a 3v1. Hirsch has pulled with these crazy stuffs a lot of times. But look at the push coming in from SMX. SMX is also going down. Now it's back to 1v2. Harsh looks like he's about to clutch it. 11 HP. Are we going to see this dank today? This is looking intense from the side of Rajasthan strikers. What kind of a damage are they trying to do here? Ghost, however, alive. He has good HP. So I think they should not allow him further here. 14 seconds on the clock. It looks difficult as Badman has a crossfire ready.
Yep, that's true, and that is smart from the side of Delhi, playing that crossfire, knowing that Harsh could be low on HP. Probably they knew about that from the last player that fell. So, well, that was smart. Usually you see teams, as I've always said, 1v3s, very dangerous situations, and, you do not need to take any kind of an unnecessary risk in those situations, and that is exactly what Delhi did. They did not take that risk. They dropped one frag, realized that, you know what, a 1v2 is a lot more clutchable. Let's play it the perfect way that it should be. And well, this time we will be seeing a reversal on the Jets. It's going to be Sai with the frenzy, full shield, and the Stormblades, while Ghost, he's going to be sitting there perfectly with the economy that he has right now.
Yep, as we start over, this is the 6th round where still Rajasthan is looking forward to get back 3 points in their favor, as it looks to be a rush, as I think it should not be great buys, or it's their last full buys that's coming in, but Hika will manage to do a spray, prevent the rush coming in. Well placed from the side of team Delhi Dragons, because look at the number of people on side. It's 3 people on side, holding crossfires really well. Now Rebel is coming in for the support, as the backstab is being looked by Harsh. He's not making a push, he's just looking forward to some kind of an execution coming through. But as Sai receives the damage, they make a rotate, and it looks to be a mid execution where Rebel is getting close to CT, but it looks to be a B entry going through market.
Yep, that is true. The recon dart will prevent anyone peeking CT, which is going to be Rebel. But Sai, he gives his position away with the updraft. And well, he has to play very carefully. But SMX, he's not going to be able to play at all, because Harsh has picked up that kill. Rebel gets that trade. We're down to a 4v4 once again with 30 seconds on the board. The plant needs to go down. It is going down. And Rebel, he's going to wait for his teammates to get the rotate in.
Yep, he needs to try and work with his teammates, but as I talk about it, Solo will not let that happen, as he'll pick a kill. Now it's a 3v4 situation. However, they do have 2 ultimates, one to reveal the location of the last 4 people, and one which is a store stopper. We can shut people down, but nothing will happen as such, as MW1 and Solo will make a cleanup, and Badman is going for a save.
Well, Badman has to go for a save, but he will just not be able to do it. because he is going to get spotted out by Solo, and well, Solo realizing that the save is going to eventually come in, and both the players just going in to peek him on Heaven Stairs as Badman falls. That's another round on board for Rajasthan. But I still feel that with Mumbai being on defense, this can swing suddenly in the favor of any one of these teams, because sometimes Ascent can just be a very defender sided map, and sometimes it can just be very attacker sided at the same time. So, how is that going to be moving forward? We'll have to see. But as we talk about that, it's an eco coming in from the side of Delhi.
They need to play it smart, but Ghost does it. He takes one pick in his favor. Now it's back to a good eco coming for the side of Delhi Dragons as a start. But look at that, they do not worry about it. They're aggressing mid. Rebel is there for them, but a Paranoia beautifully connects with the team of Rajasthan Strikers, because of which their push needs to be slowed down. But Harsh coming in from B main will manage to shut SMX down. Now they need to make a go for saving themselves, as Rebel managed to pick up one, but he is going into the side. His showstopper gets denied immediately. That was very unfortunate. And especially on an eco, you need to now look forward to just taking up a couple of rifles, as backstab from Ghost is very much possible. There's one player here playing. It's Harsh who put up the tripwire, but there is a crossfire getting ready to prevent that from happening from the side of Ghost. He's waiting for that peak to come in. He sees two people, but he does not manage to shut one down. Harsh will do that. It's back to the last two people surviving from the side of Delhi Dragons.
Well, yes, it's going to be down to Hika as well as, or just Badman. His location got pinged thanks to that recon, and that gives Wimp more than enough reason to go in for that swing. So, well, we're down to a 4-3. This is getting very close. Economy is, just switching from one side to the other, is switching from either going from Delhi's eco to Rajasthan's eco to back to a full buy for each other. So it's going to be very, very as you can say, interesting as to see who is going to be having a better economy going forward. But if you look at Rajasthan, they do have that advantage. They have 5.5, 7,000 on Solo and Harsh, so at least they can afford a buy for a teammate, and that is going to be very, very strong going forward in this matchup. As long as you maintain a healthy economy, it usually does not matter how many rounds you've dropped, because you can always have good weapons on your side, and that is definitely going to give you a leg up in every single gunfight that you take. As Rebel's boom bot will get spotted out, MW1's curveball comes in, but the dash from the smoke to the blinded Rebel is going to land Sai a kill, but he gets traded out by Hika, and we're down to a 4v4.
This is a good 4v4, but MW1 will not let that happen. He brings it back to a 3v3 now, as Ghost managed to pick one. It's a 3v3. The strike is getting safely planted near Hell, I guess, and once as it's done, there's one person at Hell. Harsh is holding generator. The Paranoia beautifully connects with the two people, but MW1 will not let Hika push, as he will shut one down. The camera will reveal the last two people's position, as Harsh will try to find one. No, Ghost will not let that happen. He'll take one, he'll take two. Now it's all up to MW1. He has his ultimate, but he went for a mid-rotate, because of which the spike is completely getting diffused. Ghost is going on a hold on it, and he does it, as MW1 will manage to shut time, as SMX will make a trade. What a round was for the side of Delhi Dragons. If MW1 would have been there, he had his ultimate, he could have played on that, but I think he wanted to
going to be back into the game without any problems. It's going to be a post plant 3v3. Ghost is going to pick two up, but he is going to lose a teammate in SMX. But oh, Solo, it's just bad timing, is going to get taken out, but MW1 does not mess up this time. He is going to be right where his team needs him, and he is going to be getting a round for him as for his team again.
That was a round that the team needed much, because the last round also looked like the team had picked it up. It was them that would be taking away the win, but Ghost and SMX playing together and MW1 getting trapped in trees was which became difficult for the side of Rajasthan Strikers. Otherwise, it should have been a 5-5 by now, but Rajasthan is pulling back real well, and now they're trying to isolate the players, because look at the execution happening from the side of Rajasthan. They're not waiting a lot, they're waiting for information of the number of utilities that is being there on the side, and then completely making an aggression, understanding the location that might be, as now Wimp will spot out three people. Ghost with the right click will miss all the shots, MW1 will not, and Harsh will again pull back one more for his teammate. However, one gets traded out, and Sai will not let that happen, as he will shut down Batman.
Yep, that's true. MW1 does get spotted, and what a shot from Hika.
One
Oh
enemy
boy,
remaining.
MW1 is going to feel that, but Sai, he gets a refrag onto Rebel. That is a big kill. But now it's a 1v3, and with, well, Hika's position is known. He is going to get that kill on Sai, but the spike is on the other side. And well, Harsh as well as Wimp, they are going to be a tough task for Hika to deal with.
This is going to be a tough task from the side, but Hika can try and play this because it's a 2v1 situation. This can work out in his favor. However, you understand certain times it gets difficult, and going for a save at this moment might be the right call. His creds are not that great, so when he moves into the next round, he'll already have a rifle. He will only have to look forward to buying his utilities and a full shield, as there are two ultimates from the side of Rajasthan Strikers which would have to counteract if he goes for a fight. And so that's a good call from Hika. If it was any other way where those ultimates were not available from the side of Rajasthan Strikers, they did not have a chance for the retake, even though they played a really good post plan situation. That should have been better. But Hika saving this rifle in an equalizer might be something really, really deadly as we go into the full buy coming for the side of Team Delhi Dragons.
Well, this match is, as we predicted, very hotly contested. Economy
Hmm.
has played a big role in restricting Delhi to the number of rounds that they have, and that is something that they will have to worry about, because if they don't win this round, well, they're going to be forced onto an eco or a force buy for the next one. So for them, this round is extremely important, and if Rajasthan is able to take that, well, they are going to be having a massive leg up. And after that, if they are able to get the pistol round going through, well, then that should basically seal the deal. But right now, things are going to be a little tough. The recon is going to get lined up. MW1 is going to pick up that Altorb for himself. So maybe we see, we see a situation where Rajasthan has a trick up their sleeve, because Hika has taken a lot of damage, but so has Sai.
Yep, it looks to be still a 5v5 situation and contesting, a lot of people not letting it come in. But bad man, this mid push, he read it perfectly. You saw that rotate coming in from CT. He managed to take down the spike. Now Harsh, who's here, will manage to shut one person down, but there is cover all way across, even though Harsh comes. But MW1 will not let that happen. He'll take one back as Ghost is looking for Harsh. He wants to shut him down. However, the B side has been completely given up, as
Oh,
Harsh
One
knows
enemy
that he's going to be
remaining.
picked up, as MW1 is cleaning the side of Delhi Dragons, as SMX is the last man to fall. What is this? It's
Last
going left
round
and right,
in the
and
half.
it's just getting heated up, as you said, Dr. Dang. It's just like, okay, we are done with 10 rounds. Okay, let's tune in a little bit more. Then again, let's tune in a little bit more.
yep, that's true. I think that where. All right. So before we talk about the round, we have a question. Is there any specific combination for a team like 4 pros and 1 CC, or there is chance of 5 pros? So Girija Prasad, there is not a chance for 5 professional players to play. The only time that we did have that, when official Mayokin played along with the squad of Bangalore, is for the reason that they did not have content creators available for them, and hence they had to take special permission from their opponent to let that lineup play. Their opponents did allow it, and that is the only time that we did see 5 professional players play. But otherwise, if we talk about generally, we are always going to be having
enemy
one
remaining.
content creator as a minimum. So you can have 5 content creators, or 4 or 3 or 2 or 1, but you need to have one as your basic content creator in your lineup. And right as we speak about that, it's the content creator from Delhi with the 3k Rebel
Switching
getting
sides.
that round for his team, and 6-6 is going to be the split at which we are going to be making our way in.
Finally, I mean, Delhi will be happy with this because, yes, they did pull up really good on the first 4 rounds, but then Rajasthan made a really good comeback. So, if Rajasthan keeps this up in defense, because now defense is just going to get a little bit more rigid from the side of Rajasthan, because their attack, you saw how strategically they played. They tried to do an execution, they understood how many people are there, immediately rotated, and they got that round in their favor. So, these kind of plays have been coming in from the side of Rajasthan strikers, and now on defense they'll be holding it even stronger than they played attack. So there will be aggression from their sides. if that aggression is not there, then it'll be really difficult for the side of Delhi Dragons to counter it. And it looks like that. Look at this. The first pistol round, there's no aggression from the side of Rajasthan. They're just holding angles, holding for peaks to come through. Now, this is where Delhi needs to isolate players or close off angles where there might be crossfires ready. Just look at A shot where MW1 is standing, but he has a crossfire with Sai there.
I agree. I think that for the side of Delhi, this is a very important round because Rajasthan's on defense. They're probably going to be having that advantage of Ascent being a defender-sided map, but they at the same time need to make sure that they do not lose too many bodies. And right as we speak about that, MW1 is going to fall. He's not had a good start to Ascent. He has been picked up quite a bit, and Badman is going to get another one. He takes a lot of damage in that fight against Wimp, but he comes out on top. And as for Delhi, well, their Cypher might be low on HP, but their Cypher can still shoot bullets.
Yep, that's true. As Rajasthan is down to a 3v5 situation. However, look at where Harsh is. He's not rotated. He, I guess, has a camera looking at all their locations. Yes, he does. But it'll be eventually taken down as they spotted out as Sai will manage to find one at Shadows Traveling. Okay, that was Badman. Shut down Badman. Now they know one will be coming from mid, but CT is where they have to worry much about, as SMX will take one and Sai and Harsh are one from CT, one from Market. Harsh will be traded out immediately as Hika is there. As Rebel tries to fight it a lot, Sai will manage to shut him down. Hika will spot Sai, but missing a lot of sprays, both of them, and Sai will eventually reload and shut him down. It's all up to SMX. We will not let that happen again from the side of Delhi Dragons, as Rajasthan will be walking away with the loss on this second half of the first pistol round.
That is true. And well, that was a good effort coming in from Sai. And well, that face tells you that he knows he was so close to getting that clutch. I mean, Hika missing so many shots and then Sai being able to land that up, that was really
that too after a reload.
Yeah, exactly. After a reload. That was the deal breaker for Rajasthan. But unfortunately, that was the deal breaker for Delhi. But fortunately for Delhi and unfortunately for Rajasthan, their last remaining player did not miss his shots. And well, the clutch was not to happen. So we are going to be seeing Ghost this time start things off. He's going to get one. Rebel did get dinged, but he's going to survive that from Harsh and get that kill, while MW1 is going to pick up one of his own onto Badman.
Yep, I mean, MW1 made a little bit of a damage. However, Rebel has a rifle in his favor. Even he's fighting, if he finds the head, he should be able to shut down the opponent. Only if the opponent has, I would say, a Sheriff, he'll be going down with a one-shot. Ghost also, but you understand, he has a rifle which can spray a little bit faster. But look at this. Oh, leaving his back open. SMX will manage to go down. I think SMX was stuck in trees and he had to make his way. But Ghost, with that Phantom, is making really, really difficult for the side of Team Rajasthan Strikers as we talk. And he will be closing it off with a 4K in this round.
Well, since there were sheriffs on the side of Rajasthan, I believe that their economy is going to be a little worse compared to what they had. So probably we're going to be seeing rifles along with half shields come out from their side, not full shields, and that is a big difference because a full shield and the half shield means the difference between a Phantom just dinking you and the Phantom outright taking you out. So that's a big thing, considering that you have 2 rounds to recover from. Right as we look at the economy, or rather the as you can say, the utility that is there, we see Solo, who picked up the Sheriff, is only going to be having a half shield with him.
This is going to be a good round. This should be a good round for the side of Rajasthan Strikers because it's their first full buy round coming in, as Sai will make the opening statements. He takes up 1 kill in his favor. There is SMX trying to prevent that push from happening, but a beautiful 1v cage coming in from the side of Rajasthan Strikers will prevent from people coming in, as Rebel's Boombot will also be shut down with the crossfire being really well held, as they need to rotate now. But MW1 is there near trees. If he goes for a peek, he can find a couple of kills there because everybody is trying to make a rotate. And look at that again, Harsh placing that trap fire at a horizontal. I mean, I would say, like, it's kind of a weird way that has been put up, because if somebody has to shut that down, they need to come in front of that opening of mid, and Harsh will manage to shut one down. But as they talk about it, they make their movement into trees, but Solo is ready and he'll pick one as MW1 is going behind.
Well, Hika is going to get that refrag for him. The curveball comes out, but SMX is already going in for that plant, but Harsh knows exactly where one is hiding. Hika does get one back, but Wimp to finish it off. He's going to get 2 for his team, and the full buy really going in the favor of Rajasthan finally, and that is an important round for them. Damage control at this point of time is very important, as it looks like Harsh and Sai are just having a small talk as to what they want to do going forward. And well, he does have his Stormblades with him, so he does not have too much to worry about just for the time being.
Yep, this is just getting intense as we speak about it. What a beautiful kill coming from the side of team Rajasthan, especially on Wimp. And as we talk about that, we have a question. Karan Patil says, when MW1 sir will join any org at the rate Sky Esports India? I mean, it's his call as of now. What we know, he is not going to be playing professionally. He just wants to play this tournament, so he might not be joining as he has a different career path ahead.
Yep, that is true. I mean, sometimes you could be really, really good at something, but you don't want to continue in that line, and that is perfectly fine because MW1, irrespective of whether he wants to join or doesn't want to join, when he eventually does join an org, he's definitely going to be joining a very, very good one. I mean, his skill is absolutely insane. Like, I would be very happy if I was able, if I was even 10% as good as him. That would be a very, very big thing.
Yep, his potential is huge, and him joining an org will be an addition to the whole org. But as we know, he's not looking for anything as of now. But Rebel is trying to safely make his way out, and that will not happen as Harsh will shut it down and bring it back to a 4v4 retake. However, the spike has gone down. He's making a lot more damage. He picks up one more. It's up to the last 3 people alive, but they do not have any ultimates or great utilities. SMX, yes, picks up one. Harsh makes an immediate trade. Badman coming in as the spike has not yet been defused. Badman cheekily has went into trees. He tries one. Hika will be going down as Hika will pick another one. It's all up to Hika now. Hika has a sheriff in his hand. He's wasting time. A beautifully placed paranoia coming through from Hika. Hika just needs to play time now, and he does. And that's all about it. What a great round Hika played here. 3K for Hika.
4K
Man,
for Hika,
oh,
actually.
4K, the last kill. Yeah, I forgot about that. Man, Hika just proved strong. And look at this chat, viewers, everybody. This is just getting insane. And if you want to keep watching insane matches, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, because there's more matches like this coming in the coming days, because this is a total 55 days of festival and we are just on day 28 today.
Yeah, exactly. This is a very long This is a very long tournament, and there is a lot of action coming through. So make sure that you're subscribed. Make sure that you like the stream, and we will be getting in more tournaments like this just for you. So make sure that you hit that subscribe button as well as the bell icon, and you are subscribed to Sky Esports. But right as we speak about that, it's going to be a frag drop from the side of Rajasthan Strikers. That's MW1 again. He has been picked off as the opening pick quite a few number of times. The trapwire does give Bobby Badman's position, but he's going to spot the barrel of Harsh. He's going to give that fight up. He does not know whether there's someone over there to hold his cross. But there is Solo, there is Harsh, there's Wimp, there are 3 people in 3. The recon comes out. Ghost is going to pick one onto Sai. He gets traded out by Wimp, and suddenly there is not a lot of wiggle room for Hika to play around with. But Solo, he's going to get spammed by that judge, but attackers come out on top in a flurry of kills, as SMX was the one with that last, and he is going to make sure that Delhi walk away with another round on board.
This is why you saw what just happened. If Delhi would have made a complete entry in, then Delhi would have managed to been shut down by the side of Rajasthan Strikers. But Rajasthan Strikers, who thought everybody was inside, and that's the reason they started making the push. But Delhi, who were there ready in A main as well as inside, and Ghost was picking up one quill by another with the Stormblades, just proved matters worse for the side of Rajasthan Strikers as double digits online. But with double digits, for you guys watching the stream, there's the Battle Pass giveaway question. Who is the title sponsor of Sky Esports League 2021? I was about to say the title sponsors myself right now, but I just stopped there and went to Sky Esports League 2021. So you guys, we have been repeating this. So you have a chance. Why do you want to miss chances like this? That's the reason we are doing this festival, this big of a tournament. There's 50 battle passes to give away. Answer this question: who is the title sponsor? And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon.
Yep, that is true. You hit those and you get a better chance at the battle pass, apparently. I'm not sure. That's not maths, so don't quote me on that. But that is just, that is just something that we say for the sake of it. But right as we speak about that, it's going to be Harsh getting that kill up. He's lit up quite a bit, but he's dropped a very smart Cypher cage again. He's going to cover a lot of ground, but Hika is not going to be giving up a frag. He's going to come in, pick up that frag, and now we're down to a 4v4 again. The shock darts going in, but they are not going to be placed in the right spot. The Cypher is going to get uploaded. That's the neural theft coming out, and SMX will ping that location, but MW1, the prediction on the head is going to get Rebel through the wall.
What a good play, but Hika will manage to shut him down now. It's back to a 3v3 situation. Spike going down. It's going to get difficult as Hika picks up one. Sai is there. Wimp is taking it now. It's all up to Hika. Hika throws a beautiful paranoia coming across. He has paranoid both these two people, but he's on backside. He needs to play it smart. His location is known as Wimp will not stop spraying and he will shut down Hika. Finally. 8th point coming online for the side of Team Rajasthan Strikers. They are just surviving with the ninja, or I would just say the slightest of the hook that they can try and manage. But 2 rounds deficit is where the side of Delhi Dragons managed to pull it back. They'll be in match point.
Yep, that is true, and well, that is going to be something that Rajasthan needs a lot more of. They need more rounds like this. They need more rounds where they can change the fact that Delhi is outsmarting them right now. MW1, unfortunately, I mean, he's picked up 16 kills. Irrespective of that, he's played really, really well. But in certain rounds, he needs to make sure that this is going to be. This is going to. Oh, I missed that. Oh no, he's going to get one, but Solo, he's going to come back in, but gets taken out by Rebel, and that's an insane refrag game coming out from both these teams. Delhi having that advantage. They're going to be making their way into side. The spike is going down. Batman with the Marshall is going to get one. The cheaper op is proving big as he picks up 2 before SMX with the Sheriff is going to completely clear out. Guys,
Badman just rolled heads down there with that Marshall.
oh boy, sometimes I actually start to feel that Marshall is a lot more useful than the operator, because it's only 1100 credits. You can get it very easily in any round. It does 101 across any range at body, which basically means eco rounds you're going to one tap opponents like an op, and to the head it's still an insta kill. And well, you scope in faster, you don't take that movement penalty, you can shoot a lot faster, and here's the interesting part, you can no scope up to a certain much better range without giving up on too much of your accuracy.
Man, I thought MW1 will pull that kill in, but as you said, yes, no scope is possible. But now MW1 will receive a lot of damage. Yes, he does not go down, but he does receive damage, and he needs to play it smart. His hot hands, however, is gone out of hands. But look at the rotate coming in from the side of Team Delhi Dragons. They've understood there are a lot of utilities to play here, and especially MW1 is here. If MW1 is here, Sai should also be with him. Let's go into a different side and look at Batman again trying to spot some heads, because those clean headshots from a Marshall just tells that this man is on a different skill level, and managing to do that is crazy. Batman is still playing that lurk as a Cypher.
Yep, that's true. I think that the smart thing that Delhi has done here is the fact that they are just using the playstyle of Rajasthan to counter-start them. But Wimp is going to get one. Harsh, despite having the better weapon, is going to fall, and it's just too much for Wimp to hold on in the back. He's going to fall. Hika, he's watching for that backstab, and he gets MW1 trying to come in through lane 2. But Solo, he has to wait for his teammate. He does pick up that Sheriff, but it's down to Solo and Sai. And well, they are wanting to make sure that they get a 2-pronged approach on this side.
And Hika with the swing will get one on Sai. Now it's all up to Solo and Hika again. I guess it's a 3k again for Hika in this round. What is Hika just doing here? His teammate falls on and Hika is like, wait, I was the controller, my bad. I'm going to pull those kills back for my team. And he's just picking an insane 3 or 4k every round now.
Yep.
This man is going insane. And Hika, I mean, we've seen Hika. He did play previously a couple of jets, I think in the older tournaments, but now he's understood there's like, let me give up that jet because I can provide a lot more for my team. And playing that controller, he's showing up huge still for his team. So that's what you talk about when you are playing a team game, that your team, irrespective of the trade numbers not working in your favor, there should be other ones to help your team. And that's what here is happening from the side of team uh, Delhi Dragons. But again, aggression from MW1. MW1 will pick two. Sai will come behind him to pick up a rifle in his favor. Now it's back to advantage for the side of Rajasthan striker. However, match point online is where Delhi Dragons is standing. They do have the good rifles in hand, picking up a couple of rifles, and SMX with the shock dart kill. What is Delhi doing? Solo playing just with the judge, picks up one more, and SMX is very close here. He can pick up solo again, but if he goes any closer to this dark cover, he should be spotted and taken. But Ghost will somehow fall into that spray, and MW1 will manage to shut the side of Delhi Dragons to make sure they are alive for another round. And 12-9 is the score. What is happening? This is a map Rajasthan picked. Delhi Dragons already in match point. This is something completely unpredictable, and for the viewers that's watching, as we told, this is just out of the thoughts for us as well of what's happening. So there was a battle pass giveaway question happened. There is also questions from you guys that we are answering. And as I was talking about that, there's a question that comes in. Arpit Sharma asks, why Indian teams not using ability combos like EU teams? Arpit, dang, I'll just
Yep.
give my statement
Sure,
and I'll
sure.
hand it over to you, because Arpit, here, teams are trying to understand every agent. You understand, there were at a point there were just top two teams in India who were best in terms of their skill set, the abilities that they were using, but now every team is matching up. So teams are trying to understand how better they can use. But for EU, it's a different region. They have played, I would say, a little bit more than where Indian Valorant scene. But there are players individually who have played a lot more Valorant from the EU players as well. So a whole as a come, they are developing. But yeah, there is a lot of utility usage that still can be seen from the Indian players.
That's true. And plus, I feel that EU players are generally. Oh, bad man. Oh, that is so bad, man. Oh, he's going to get one, but Harsh is sneaking. He's going to get two. He finally gets taken out by Hika, and Solo with that judge is making it work. He's going to get one, but MW1 gets one as well. And we're down to a 1v1. MW1 at full HP. Hika, he's getting that spike down. He gets those 300 treads for his team, but he needs to make this play happen. The curveball should be coming in, and unfortunately for MW1, he will flash himself. He'll have to wait a little bit before he can make that push. And well, he does have that advantage, but he does not know where Hika is playing. I don't know about the utility that Hika has. He does not have a paranoia for sure. He's going to be checking every single corner. MW1 gives his position away with the curveball. He's not checking the right corner. And green box is where death hides for him.
Oh, what a play from Hika.
Oh, Hika is just. I mean, if there is one thing that Delhi really needed on their side, that was Hika. And if there is one thing that Delhi really, really did not expect to show up this big, it is Hika. Like, no one expected a controller to show up this strong, and he did. And he did it right when it was needed, exactly when it was needed. And he made sure that his team did not follow or fall to any trap. The man just looked out like he was the big daddy for every single one in that game. Anyone trying to come in for a backstab, anyone trying to sneak past his teammates, Hika was like, you know what, I see you, you're not going to be pulling off anything smart against my team. And that's an easy kill for me. And well, Hika proved that, like, so many situations that Hika was just there. Like, why? Who got that refrag? He got that refrag. Why was he there? No clue. He lurked and he reached there. And what do you say other than that? He was flank watch. He was like what the army calls the C-130 in the air, the big daddy of watching over everyone. And that is what he was doing. He was there for flank support for every single person. He's that gunship in the sky that you need when your team's pinned down.
You put it really well, Dr. Dang. Man, he did a lot of. Yes, Batman initially started things off. He did insane kills, but when it came for clutches, it was just Hika outright. He was ready for his team. He was making sure he was calm. This round, the last one especially, MW1 could have easily clutched it, and we know his
Yep.
skill power. And you saw how he was clearing angles. He threw down his hot hands. He went for those flash peaks, and he played it really smart. He waited for that push. If you saw, I mean, that was a good position that MW1 was holding. He thought there is somebody inside backside. I'll put up a flash, and that person has to come and peek me, because once you're flashed, he'll be getting a little bit flustered. But Hika was just a little bit. I mean, without using big brain Omen TPs, he was just outright big brain there.
Yeah, exactly. I did not see a single out of the blue paranoia or a smart
Yeah.
smoke or a smart from the shadows or a TP that came in from Hika. No, he did not play Omen in the way that you would say that, oh my god, that's 200 IQ Omen. No, that was normal Omen. That was not something that was, oh my god, that's new. He just played Omen really well. That's all that he did. He just played Omen really well. And it's the fact that Omen is so free in terms of what he has to do. Like, if you expect a Phoenix to be doing that, then that is like, maybe he could have used his utility in a better way and got an entry for his team, but he still got the kills. Whatever, a good job done by the Phoenix. But for the Omen, the smokes were down, the paranoia was down, the clutch, the sneak, everything. And just look at the scoreboard, just look at where Hika is. I don't know if you will be able to get a better breakdown of what he did unless we look at what the replay was for particular rounds. But Hika 25 and 14, he has more than a 2 KD. But if you look at it,
Mhm.
number of first bloods, they're so low. Only two
Yeah.
first bloods compared to four for a Cypher Badman, compared to three for Ghost on the Jet, and one each for Rebel and SMX. It tells you Hika was not the player running in and trying to get those kills. He
Mhm.
was the player who was holding back and just sitting there like, all right, you know what? Ghost fell, SMX fell, Rebel fell. All right, I guess I'll just do this on my own. And then he goes ahead
Yeah.
and does it.
Man, that's like a statement. I'm pretty sure he'll be like, okay, done. Everybody's down. Don't worry, the round is still ours itself. And that's how he played. He played it really smart. I really liked how Hika played in this map. And this is what, when we were discussing Dr. Dang, we said the only way that you shut down Rajasthan is build pressure when they start making more and more mistakes. Because you saw Rajasthan, the first four rounds, it got a little bit pressurized situation because they forced the round, did not win that. Then they had a full buy round, they did not win that. Then they started worrying a little bit. It looks like the map is going away, but they did make a comeback. They did bring it to a 4-4, and then they did take an advantage to 6-5. The best thing of this map of Ascent, I would like, is Delhi did not get worried that, oh my god, Rajasthan picked up a couple of points on the first half itself, and I think we should start looking for something else. They played it calm, brought it to a 6-6, and once the second split came, the attack was just so perfect from the side of team Delhi Dragons, because they understood how Rajasthan is played. Rajasthan plays crossfires. Now, if you deny those crossfires, we can pick up kills. And that's what if you saw in the pistol round itself, they did it very well, where MW1 was playing trees and Sai was playing site. They both had their crossfires. If somebody pushed in from trees, Sai could have shut him down if MW would have gone down. If MW1, I mean, if Sai would have gone down, MW1 was ready to refrag him. But look at the push coming in from the side of team Delhi Dragons. It was timed perfect. Couldn't have said anything else, because it was timed perfect. Two people went in from main and one from backstab. As MW1 looked for a kill, when that A main push call out came, MW1 was shut from the back. Badman picked up his kill. Sai was shut down in the side. And Solo, again, who was in the side providing cover for Sai, was also shut down. And A side was completely lost. Now you understand where Rajasthan is. They had the side holding a crossfire, but putting down that smokes, sending out the paranoia, and Badman coming on the backstab was just perfectly timed from the side of team Delhi Dragons, and they walking away with a 13-9.
Yep. I mean,
Amazing.
the 13-9 was already, a score that I believe I said a 13-10 in the favor of Delhi, right? Yep.
Yep.
So I was pretty close. And well, there were two reasons for me. Um, you know, there were two reasons for that score. One being the fact that I thought that it is going to be a Delhi win, and the second part being the score. So Breaking that down, the reason that I thought it's going to be Delhi is because of one reason and one reason only. I knew for a fact that Delhi understands that you cannot take Rajasthan down on pure aggression. You just do not have the same firepower. Like, you have Ghost, you have Badman, you have Rebel, but you cannot compare to the smartness and the firepower that Rajasthan gets. Because
Mm.
yesterday I made a point: you make a smart play, make it with your team. You make a stupid play, make it with your team. And that is what Rajasthan does, irrespective of whether a play is smart or stupid, or is it going to be working. Rajasthan does it together. Rajasthan does it with five people in the same place. They are always five people who are thinking the same thing. They want the same map control, they want the same positions, and that is why Rajasthan is so good in making plays that usually you do not expect a team to walk away with. I mean, they push five people into market. Is it smart?
Yep.
It's not. Five people in market means that if one guy peeks CT and one guy flanks you from top mid, you're done. That is basically a kill box. But Rajasthan still does it because they push five people together and they make it work. If someone pushes CT, five people push CT and they overwhelm a person with aggression. It doesn't matter if
Yep.
the five people have a classic and the one guy pushing CT has a phantom or even an Odin. You're not going to come out on top against five people. And that is where Rajasthan is really strong. And that is exactly where Delhi counter-strateged them. Every single position that Rajasthan tried to take, they forced them to take it one by one or forced them to
Mm.
take it two by two. And that is just smart from Delhi.
Yep, I mean we have seen this happening, as you said, a 5v5 push coming inside market. That did happen in this round also. What the other teams do is they let the market go. They do not try to contest it because they understand it's a little bit of a firepower coming from the side of team uh, Rajasthan, and we might be the people going down. So let's let them cross into market, but we'll not let them cross into site. We'll be holding from CT, but that's just too late because there'll be dark covers as a follow up where CT will be closed off. Even the first second lane might be closed off in certain instances. It's up to the team call. But yes, they will also try and close B main if their teammate is not coming in because it's a five-man push. They'll try going to CT. Now you're all late and the side spike has come down. On the side of Delhi Dragons, as Dr. Dang mentioned, they did not give up the control of mid. What they were doing is they were doing random sprays. Yes, it was doing a little bit of a damage. Yes, it was not getting a kill, but you understand what happened there because that counter stat came in. They were a little bit flustered on how to shut this person down who we cannot see, and that person can also not see them, but he's trying to make a lot of sprays, is shooting bullets down, and they are getting a little bit of damage, because of which while entering into B main, they might be able to go down if one person is inside and they do not close him out very early. That's how well Delhi played. They were like, let's not just run into a position. We know how Rajasthan plays. There'll be a couple of people just running into a different position while they try a dark cover or something. Because you saw a bad man picked up 2 kills on a dark cover at B main because he understands how Rajasthan plays. They will be holding an aggressive angle near the dark cover. Let me just spray it. And he also saw when the dark cover was coming through, Harsh just jiggled a little bit, because of which he knew the position of Harsh's rifle, and he managed to take 2 kills. And that's how you understand the team. You do not just blindly go and counterstat an aggressive team, as Dr. Dang mentioned, because aggressive teams, they are aggressive because they're good on aim and they're ready to take up a fight 1v1 or even a lot of people together, because they are sure that they'll be the people standing on top at the end of the day. And that's what Delhi did not enable the side of Rajasthan, and first map just went out.
I agree. I think that um, why Delhi, it was not an easy game for Delhi. Like,
Hmm.
let me put that straight. It was not an easy game for Delhi, despite knowing what exactly to do against Rajasthan. They did not, they did not have an easy time doing it. I feel that Rajasthan could have also taken this against what I predicted, with one thing changing up. Maybe MW1 being not dropping, maybe MW1 not dropping his frag so early, because we saw in a lot of rounds MW1 was the first pick to fall. And as a defensive team, losing a body up front, losing a duelist with two flashes, a molly and a blaze wall up front, not to mention the skill and the aim that MW1 gets, it's a big loss for you to take for multiple rounds. Like, out of the 22 rounds that got played, if MW1 even got taken out more than 5 rounds in the first frag as the first blood, that is too much for Rajasthan to lose. So that is one place that I think maybe either it is because he was on the Phoenix, or maybe even if he was on the Rena, that could have happened. But we don't know for sure why that was happening. But irrespective, Phoenix, Rena, anything, MW1 dropping that frag early is the reason that a lot of rounds were a lot more easier for Delhi to take. Because if you think about it, in a 4v5 on attack, it's a lot more easy to wait for a gunfight, wait for a peak, and then get it. But on defense, if you lose that first body first, it just means that you have lesser people to hold map for. And when you have lesser map control, it usually means attack is going to take that map control very easily, and eventually they will slowly trickle in towards site, get the spike down, hold the perfect post plant positions, and then make a play out of it. So it's very important for teams on defense to do two things: either don't let them get map control, or even if they do get map control and get the spike down, make sure that they cannot hold the best post plant positions. Because on B site, really the most the strongest position that you can have is one person in site, one person in backside, and then one person holding main. If you cut
Yep.
off the people going to main, you basically just hold them into one small box, and at that point of time, their backs are against the wall. They have to fight for their lives, and there's nowhere where they can run. So if you have that kind of a position for yourself, well, then you're going to be coming out on top in that post plant. But so many times Rajasthan gave that up as well. They did not clear out main. They did not let the players inside feel boxed in. They just pushed in, I
Mhm.
guess, and got their frags taken up.
Yep, I completely agree with you. If we saw the retakes coming from the side of Rajasthan, they did not go for clearing main. They did not go to make sure that somebody holding a cubby angle or somebody might be playing a post plan situation. I understand that the utilities might have been a call that they would have taken with not going for that situation, but you understand, once you do not clear, you have it in your mind that there might be somebody backstabbing you, because of which your strategy where you're trying to box in the opponent will be feared of somebody being ready to backstab you. And that's where Rajasthan, as we said, you increase the pressure on Rajasthan, they will start making more and more mistakes. But now the second map is Bind. Bind is the map where Rajasthan is really well. Yes, previously another team picked up Bind, that was Kolkata, but did not manage to shut them down because Rajasthan was that better on Bind. Now again, Delhi Dragons picking this map, if they manage to shut Rajasthan down, this will make a statement saying that yes, we are covering all the maps that Rajasthan might have been strong on.
Yep, that is going to be a great one. So right now we have the second map and it's prediction time. Bind, Rajasthan versus Delhi. Lucifer, what is your prediction? Chat, what is your prediction? Let us know so that we know what is
Select your
happening.
agent.
I guess this should be an overtime, Dr. Dang, and it should be the map where Rajasthan take a win.
Rajasthan taking a win, but what score, Lucifer?
That's really difficult on Bind and an overtime, but I would say maybe a 14-12 or 17-15, something like that. Yeah.
Yep, that is true. I think uh, I'm going
I
to.
want to see an overtime. That's why I'm pushing for it.
You want to see an overtime? All right. Well, all right. Then I'll also predict an overtime. All right. I'm going to predict a 15-13, or I'm going to be going in with a um I'm going to go in with another 13-10 for Delhi.
Mhm. Okay. Sounds good. I mean, this is going to be interesting. Bind is a map that I want to see how teams manage to shut down the side of Rajasthan, because Rajasthan have played this triple duelist previously as well, and the same way with Kolkata. But I think the Jet was picked up by Solo, and he did a lot of damage there as a Jet. So today Solo has gone for that race as a duelist, and Jet has still been picked up with Sai. Yes, Sai is really good, but yeah, that was the previous lineup. But you understand, if you keep playing the same agents, might not work out. In the last map, Solo was just playing judges every round, and he did make a lot of damage. But Hika was there, as Dr. Dang mentioned. The Big Daddy managed to close things for the whole team.
Yep, that's true. And if Hika is able to pull off anything close to a similar performance, well, that is, I mean, it's not just Hika. If anyone from Rajasthan or Delhi can pull off a similar performance where they're always there for their teammates, well, that is going to be interesting to say the least. And Wimp, he's going to be dropping that molly. He's going to go in for that peek. He spots Badman, but does not connect as many shots as he would have wanted. Ghost this time is going to fall. Wimp is going to get another one. Finally, that trade coming in, but the Swarm is going to force Rebel to run into U-Haul and to his death in the arms of Harsh, as we're down to a 2v3. We're down to a 1v3 for Rajasthan, or rather for Delhi.
I mean, Delhi started a little bit better, but you understand this is a map of Rajasthan. They are just outright will not let you anything happen. Now look at this. Badman is getting completely rushed in from 2-3 players, but Solo will manage to shut him down as this round falls for Rajasthan strikers. They've already made an opening statement that you cannot move into bind, and they played it really well. If you saw the nano swarms that were placed, there were 2 nano swarms placed along with the molly coming in. So much amount of push delayed, so much of damage done on the opponent while they were trying to push, and you saw Rebel had no chance because there was only one person who could stand in that small corner that was left out from the nano swarm, that was SMX, and Rebel had to do something for himself. He tried to move in, but there was Harsh already trying to shut him down, and he shuts 2 people down. Now again, a bonus round coming in for the side of team Rajasthan strikers. They will not let the map of bind go as easy as Ascent went off. I would not say easy, but yeah, it went off from the hands. But look at this again, Solo and Sai move people down.
That is true. Solo and Sai with the better weapons are going to be very difficult to deal with. And MW1 on his trusty Rena is going to pick up one more, and another one for him. It's down to Ghost. He is inside U-Haul. His position is known. The refrag is not going to be coming in from his side because the bait from the Rena was the dismiss, and Solo was the one to get that kill. He was the spear in that situation. So bind starts off good for Rajasthan. Let's see whether there is going to be a reply coming in from the side of Delhi, or we'll be seeing a 3-0 go up for the side of Rajasthan.
The reply is Sai has an operator now, and that's what the side of team Delhi Dragons have to face against, because Big Daddy was Heka in the previous round, but it's a big gun coming through for the side of Team Rajasthan now with Sai playing that operator, and he might be able to find Rebel out of here, and he does. The first shot goes down. He's looking for another one. There is SMX right behind him. This should be possible, but the smoke coming in from Wimp will prevent from that happening, but Sai has not moved back. Sai is still holding that. He's also pushing in, but it was a really... SMX gets a 2 collab. He wished for 1, 2.
He gets the op and he gets the brim. Those are 2 massive kills for the side of Delhi. Getting the smoker off the board and getting... What? Oh, wait. All right. I got scared. Like, I was like, why is the Jet trying to knife? And then I realized, no, that is going to be the teammate, as Hika is going to join in on that party and picking off right where he left. The spike goes down, and well, it's down to Solo and MW1 to get this round on board for their team. But it's going to come down to only MW1, whose position is now known thanks to that alarm bot. And well, he's not going to be surviving for too long because Badman, he's holding a sneaky peek, crouched in the middle, holding an off angle. That's not going to be too much of a trouble for the man to get that kill.
Sai, man, that was completely not needed. And now for the people who are watching, that's what happens irrespective whether it's your smoke or the opponent's smoke. You should not try and push out without you having knowledge what's going on the outside. And you saw SMX is like, that was just unfortunate for the side of Sai, and especially Web. But nonetheless,
I mean, that was just unfortunate. There was no real mistake from the side of Wimp over there. Like, there was no reason for him to fall. It's just that he got vandaled over there. And right as we speak about that, a trade coming out, Rebel falls, so the raise for the Jet, I think that this is an equal trade.
Yep, it's an equal trade. They do, however, have Delhi Dragons on their side, have Blade Storms online, and Ghost is really, really proficient on that. So if they manage to capitalize on top of it, it should work out really well, as it looks to be an A execution again, but a Molly lineup from the side of Wim. He's not letting people to push in. The Molly should be dropping in, and it is dropped. It will delay the push. There's Nano Swarms also placed near U-Haul, but Ghost, with the slightest of the hedge, he'll take a slimmer of a damage and will make his way into sight. He's trying to battle people off. He takes one back. Now it's Harsh down. Solo is trying to fight him. MW1 will come out of lamps and will shut Ghost for doing all the damage, but Badman is there to shut him back. Now it's all up to Solo, as the side of Rajasthan has been cleaned up for the second time.
Well, Rajasthan, they are going to be in a tough position. Solo is going to be the last. Solo is going to be Solo. I just had to make that fun, you know. Like I just had to
That's
make.
out there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just had to make it. Like there's no way that I was not. It was right there in front of me. All right. But as we speak about that, Solo is going to be sneaking away from the players of Delhi because he knows that there is no way he's going to be getting this clutch in for his team. There's not enough time. There's no information for him to really know where the players are going to be. And right as we speak about that, he is going to walk away from the spike explosion. And as heroes don't look at explosions, neither will he be looking at the explosion.
He'll be making one afterwards.
Yep, that's true.
Once his showstopper is online. But now that was an equalizer for the side of Delhi. Delhi will be back happy, but I understand how bad Rajasthan is feeling at this moment because they lost an operator out of which that round was looking very good for the side of Rajasthan. But you understand that fault coming in, and for the people who want to make the prediction, me and Dan got a choice. We got our voice out there, but who wants to put up a vote? Head over to Instagram at the Red Sky Esports League and put up your poll, and we will be showing you who will be taking the map in terms of the audience perspective. But as of now, equal trades coming in from both the teams.
Yep, that's true. I think that um, it's going. What Harsh is going to pick up two out of the blue with the sheriff, and I was saying this is going to be a tough round for Rajasthan, but turns out this is going to be a tough round for Delhi. Harsh, he stood his ground inside Shars. Hika is going to come in and pick two, but MW1 he's going to peek right then and there, and he's going to get both of Hika and Ghost and a Thrifty on board. Harsh, he was the MVP for that round. Like there is no other reason that like there is no way that that just happened.
Yep. I mean, that was a really well played round from Harsh. Man, getting two picks of Sheriff is back to back is really, really difficult. And for to make it happen, well played for the side of Harsh. And MW1 closing it out as usual. If he's alive, you can make sure he'll rain a lot of damage. But two operators from both the sides. This is going to be a face off, especially here on long. This should be really good. Holding of each other. This is just getting crazy. Ghost is holding the cheeky angle. There is Sai lightly pushing it. Who makes the mistake? Who will be facing off? But there are grenades being thrown across. It looks to be. Sai will just hold, but Ghost with that peak will manage to shut him down. As SMX will get one shot that kill. And now it's all Delhi taking over the A side.
Well, that is going to be another round that somehow Rajasthan is not going to be having the advantage in, but Harsh is playing this smart. He knows that there is someone on top of those boxes. He's going to go through that smoke and Ghost is going to fall. That is good game sense on the side of Harsh, but he's picked up a frag. He needs to pick up 4 more, but MW1 is going to join that party. SMX will fall. The Empress is on board. This is really going to be very difficult, but MW1 eventually does fall. The lockdown gets placed by Badman. His position is going to be given, and Harsh will push into U-Haul to make sure that the lockdown does not detain any of his teammates, as it's all down to Solo. He won't survive for too long, and he will fall to Badman. And the killjoys from both these teams showing up huge. First Badman, and after that it's like first Harsh and then Badman.
Yep, and as we are seeing interesting rounds, the best part out there that's happening right now is get yourself vaccinated because we want to come out of this as soon as possible. So head over to cowin.gov.in, get yourself registered, book a slot to get yourself vaccinated as we want things to come back to normal. I'm pretty sure everybody is wishing for everything to come back to normal, but this time, if you want to like something, like this stream, subscribe, and hit that bell icon because today's match is just getting interesting and interesting as this is a strong map for the side of team Rajasthan, but Delhi is not letting that happen as SMX will shut one down, but Harsh again proving strong with that Sheriff takes one back for his team as Solo goes for a jump pick and Badman will punish that.
Oh, well, that is going to be extremely an interesting round because like every single time that Rajasthan thinks that all right, we have the advantage.
Spike
We just
planted.
are going to be walking through the side of Rajasthan right now, but Wimp, he's going to get that trade for MW1, and suddenly it looks like the Brim and KJ from the side of Rajasthan are just going to hold off. Wimp at 5 HP and Harsh with that op. They don't want to take any chances. The ult is going to get used by Wimp. Surprising?
Sentry.
No, it's not. It's not. He just pressed that button for no sake, I guess.
I mean, that's good for what he did right now, but now you see it's disadvantage for the side of Rajasthan strikers. So low on HP. Spike has been already planted, and going for a save is the best call because they've picked up an operator in the hand. But look at where Hika is making his way. Hika looks to be finding another one so that he can shut down the operator that was picked up. But fortunately, he could not find one. The operator will be back online for Sai, but if Sai keeps making the mistake again and again, where he loses on an operator, it'll just be really bad on the side of Team Rajasthan strikers. They will have a really bad chance of pulling things back.
Yeah, that's true. I think going forward, Delhi is having this huge advantage for them for one reason and one reason only, and that is the fact that they're playing this to the T. They're making sure that the see on attack bind is going to be extremely difficult for two reasons, as I've said this, because keeping map control is difficult, but taking it is going to be a lot more easier. So technically it should be an attacker sided map, but what happens when you get the spike down? Well, that point you become the defenders. Right as I speak about that, Rebel misses the showstopper but still gets that kill. He gets traded out by Harsh, but there was an opening frag from Solo, so there is still man advantage for the side of Rajasthan. But Hika, he is ready with the TP and he is going to make his way to B site, as Badman will just make sure that the lockdown gets baited out.
That was a really good fast execution. And now that the spike has come down, Hika and the side of Badman need to play a post plan situation where I'm pretty sure Badman will put up a little bit of a nano swarms on top of the spike so they can play a very far post plan situation. Look at the fire that he's placing. He looks for a backstab, but fortunately for the side of Rajasthan, they can have this round. They have an advantage. However, they need to
One
push
enemy
off from that
remaining.
smoke as Wimp will start things off. He's taken down Hika, but Badman playing from lamps will miss on MW1 as he'll make his way to default on top of Spike, where MW1 will give a fake sound on making a defuse, with Sai is ready as a crossfire for MW1 and he will shut down Badman, finally bringing it to an equalizer as Rajasthan just so close of losing the round. But Hika going down was that Sai and MW1 would have managed to close the round and shut it and bring it back to an equalizer for the side of Team Rajasthan strikers.
Yep, that was a very close round for two reasons. One, time was not on the side of Rajasthan. They did not know the positions of the players, and well, very well played by Sai 2. I mean, that was technically a bait for MW1, but it was a very risky bait for two reasons. Because if Sai missed his shot or MW1 got picked off, there was not enough time for Sai to get that diffuse off. So very well played by both of them, playing it right at the edge of winning a round or not. They're going to be peeking this, but Badman just jiggling too much, shows too much of his body, and he is going to pay the price for that with his life, and that's the killjoy of the board for Delhi.
That's very unfortunate for the side of Team Delhi, but looking at where we are heading, it still has a chance because Delhi has pulled up eco rounds in their favor, and if they're managing to do that, Delhi stands a chance even in a 4v5 and they have rifles. But thing that we can still say confidently they have a chance is because they have the spike. Teams losing out on spike so many times is just really affecting their gameplay. Blade Storms online for the side of Team Delhi Dragons with Ghost online should be able to work, but look at how much area Harsh has managed to know. He knows it's not on A, so this should be a B execution, and that's the reason three people stack with two duelists and one controller, and that controller will make sure the push does not come through from the side of Delhi Dragons, preventing and wasting a lot of time, because once you try and execute when you're at 20 seconds, it'll just be really difficult. But now Hika pushing into side, will be MW1 who will be picking up those kills. As MW1 will take one, will take two, will take 3k for his favor. It's all up to SMX. SMX is coming in. He will shut down MW1. Now it's all 40 seconds on the clock. He needs to go for a plan, but Harsh has already made his way from A main to hookah, and he will shut down the round and bringing it advantage for the side of Team Rajasthan strikers will be Harsh.
Yep, MW1 showing up big. I mean, two frags were picked up by the side of Delhi, but they were just not enough at the end of the day because it was MW1 showing up big. And then there was a crossfire from Sai as well as I forget the last remaining player from the side of Rajasthan, but there was a crossfire. There was no way that SMX could have peaked Cube and could have peaked Hookah at the same time. And well, that was good positioning from the side of Rajasthan. And that is why Bind is so strong, because you can retake map control so fast that defense can just, oh, we gave up Hookah in the start of the round, no problem. We're going to take Hookah back, and there is another crossfire established. Bind, if your teammates know how to hold crossfires, it is so defender-sided that I'm surprised we do not see 10-2s and 9-3s as often as we do, because sometimes Bind can just make you feel that there is nowhere left to go. And right now it feels that that is the case for Delhi. They have nowhere left to go. But SMX and Hika, they're going to have to make a play here. They have to make sure that they pick up another round at least for their team. Hika is going to push all the way to CT and get two. It's going to be down to the two remaining players from Rajasthan. They know that Harsh is in elbow. Oh, sorry. They know that Wimp is in elbow. And again, Hika with the big brain TP. He's going to make his way all the way to A and force Harsh and Wimp to pull a rotate off. Harsh, he's free. He can go in for that rotate. But Wimp is stuck. And he will fall to SMX right as we predicted, to force Harsh to be in a 1v2. Or make that a 1v1. Oh, no. This is so bad. This is so bad for SMX. He does not.
SMX.
He just does not have the time. And the clutch comes in. At least get that kill. He's not going to be getting that kill either. And I mean, that kind of equalizes things out, right? We saw MW1 be in that bad position once. We saw SMX be in that bad position once of not being able to make it in time for the counter defuse.
Yep, MW1 was there on Ascent, and it was just unfortunate there. But he did get a kill, but it's it was so close. I mean, he used a recon to make sure there was a person, but if he would have used the shock dart, I guess he could have had a better chance there. Because once that hit him, he would have either gone down completely, depending on how much damage he would have received it, or either made his way out. Because once you receive damage, again holding it might be a thing that you don't want. But here MW1 and Sai will pick things off, make it back to a 5v2 situation as SMX is trying and surviving for his team. He picks up one back, but there's an alarm bot which will trigger one Badman's location as Harsh will shut him down, and Badman is all alone from the side of Delhi Dragons, looking for survival or point advantage for his team. But look at Solo, what he's doing. He's just running across with the boombot. Now his boombot will spot one, but Badman will be able to shut down Harsh. However, they have spike control. They need to play it for that, because right now you saw what happened, because Harsh just went down on Badman, and you know Badman's aim is really, really precise.
That is true. Badman is going to be someone that you would not want to, think he, all right, it's just 1v3. There's no real thing that he can do. No, it's Badman. As he looks to recover that spike, he will be successful for it, but it looks like he's given his position away in the same thing. I'm not sure if that spike was within the bounds of that smoke that tells Wimp that, all right, the spike has been picked up or not, but the knife is out, and that is not going to be good decision making, because, well, Solo is waiting for him on the other side, and he's going to get
That was
kill.
smart.
Yep, Solo, he understood that a rotate has to come in, so he just kind of held that. And I mean, I have been caught out like that, having knife in hand, running for that rotate. But, and I say this every single time to every single person that I see, sometimes just have the gun out. There is no problem in that. I make the same mistake and I point it out. So it's kind of hypocritic, but you get it why people get the knife out, right?
Yeah.
I just don't know why people get their knife out still. Like, even me, when I do it, I still cannot give a reason for why I get the knife out.
It was 40 seconds on the clock for Badman, and I should. This was really well played from Wimp and Solo. Wimp could have sprayed that down. The spike was actually outside of that smoke, so he saw that being picked up. When you're a little bit closer to spike, it just automatically gets picked up, and that's what happened. And Wimp gave him a call out, and Solo just went for that tunnel take, and you know what happens when the time is running out. You will obviously be on a knife to make sure you reach the other side as fast as possible, because you don't want to give footsteps, and that's the only reason. Because in general, if you're not shift walking, you will be open with the rifle and you'll be trying to run. That's a good try from Badman. However, it's the last half of the first split,
You
and now
should
they need to
run.
bring it to a 7-5, or if it's an 8-4, looking at a triple duelist setup on attack is going to be even more difficult for the side of Team Delhi Dragons to face off, as the attacker Killjoy's lockdown has been popped off. They'll give away the side. The plan should come through very easily, but the retake is what will make matters very difficult, because the opponent's lockdown
Spike
is
planted.
also available.
Yep, that is true. We should be seeing a lockdown coming from the side of KJ that is on Rajasthan, but elbow control has been taken up, and that is going to be interesting. They're going in for that peak. Ghost is going to get pushed up. He's going to get two before Harsh is going to come in and take two for himself, and the lockdown gets placed. This is going to make things so interesting, but Hika is going to pick up solo. The lockdown has been placed. MW1's position is known. The Soul Lord gives his position away as well. I think Rebel should be able to destroy this lockdown. He has enough time, but Harsh is sticking that diffuse. There is not enough positions. Half has been popped off, but Rebel will get that kill against better opinion for that round. It's going to be Delhi
Switching sides.
getting that 7-5 split, or rather that 5-7 split for themselves, and a lot rides on the pistol for both Delhi and Rajasthan over here.
7-5. Now Delhi will be a little bit happy. However, Rajasthan will be even more accelerated, because they are on a better split on this map of Bind, and they know Bind is a map that will really work. But you can see it's not that happy faces across the board for the side of Team Rajasthan. The only reason being, they know it's a tough battle that they're doing, especially on a Bind, which they're really good. Kolkata did that previously. Now again, Delhi doing the same thing. It's just getting on their nerves, and they want to get over with this with a win, because it's just getting inching and inching closer, because till date, after the losses that they have had, they've not had a flawless victory. Now, as we started off, the side of Delhi will not give it up very easily. Yes, the side of Rajasthan has three duelists, and they will look forward to playing together, or in terms of uh, the controller helping out. But Sai trying to push in, the grenades will hit him, and he has to make his way back, as the pistol round is already started in 1 minute 20 seconds on the clock, as SMX is really close, but Solo's grenade will get the hit. However,
well, SMX is going to fall, and that's a big kill, but Ghost is still inside hookah along with Rebel. This could work out. They have the crossfire from CT as well as Sight, but they've given up elbow control thanks to SMX falling down, so that could be a thing that makes a difference. But Rebel, he gets rid of that KJ turret. The elbow push comes in. Harsh is going to get that kill. The Soul Orb is going to be very useful for MW1, as that is going to let Rajasthan keep the 2-man advantage, keep the 3-man advantage, as it's down to Badman as well as his teammate of Rebel. But Rebel and Badman both going to pick one up. It's all down to Rebel now, and he is going to get spotted out, and Sai and MW1 to get those final kills. The pistol going in the favor of Rajasthan, and that is big. That forces Delhi to probably have a force for themselves, but we might not see it. We might see it, not sure.
I mean, the side of Team Delhi is trying their best, but you saw the triple duels being alive is where it proves really strong for the side of Rajasthan strikers. However, we have a question. Let me just quickly read it. It's Jagan asking, then in IPL, Rahane and Watson makes best pair. Now in CPL, Sai and MW1 makes the best pair. Two different battlegrounds, yet the rate of dominance is always higher than we expected. How are you seeing this? Comment your views on their powerful performance. Yes, we'll do that, but we are already started with the anti-eco round, where the side of Team Rajasthan is walking away with the bonus, and MW1 will start again as Jagan. The answer is already coming, but we'll be discussing it. Look at where Ghost is. He's already made his push from hookah. That sound has been, however, heard. He has only a shorty to play with, where Harsh will not let that walk away further. And dang, this question, I mean, I'll give it to you first, and then we'll talk about it.
Well, I think that the reason that MW1 and Sai are having such a strong, bond in terms of how they play is because their play styles are going to be very, very similar. Their play styles are going to be extremely close in terms of the aggression that they bring for the team, and as well as, the kind of agents that they play. They both play duelists, they both play that aggressive role, though the way that they get their kills is going to be different. MW1, he tries to outsmart and then out-aim his opponents, but MW1, he's not going to be checking the corner. Ghost is going to get that kill. and he jumps into that teleporter. That is going to be a huge person off the board, as Solo, despite being in the air, is
What?
going to get a kill. He's down to 2 HP though, and that could be something that is very, very, you know, that is a big downside for him, but he's still going to be surviving in a 4v4 in a post plant situation.
He also has a showstopper nonetheless, so he can still play it out really well here. And as we look at it, it's a retake that the side of team Delhi Dragons need to play it off really well. They do have the similar kind of agents. Look at that all across the board. MW1 going down. A Batman will take one pick, but Sai immediately trades him off. The Paranoia connects with him. They're looking for him, but Sai will spot that. But he does not shoot that, as Wimp will manage to shut down Rebel. Now it's all up to her. She's playing in this hookah. They are looking for some information as they're trying to fake and bait out, as a lot of damage was received by Hika. The Nano Swarm. Oh my god, that was really close from the side of. And they did not have time, and they lose their rifles as well as they go out. It's 10-5. Rajasthan bringing back to double digits, and their bonus round still works for them. Now it's a full buy coming in for the side of team. I'm sorry. My bad. It was a full buy from both these teams, and Rajasthan made their bonus work. And Rajasthan will be happy with the creds that they have, and they will not worry about going down to the spike.
Well, that I thought that the kill by Hika onto Harsh was amazing because he was down to 4 HP. He needed to land that headshot without a single bullet landing for himself, and well, it works out. It he is able to get that kill, but at the end of the day, it was not a round for Delhi. And as we speak about that, Harsh is going to get one. It's Hika as well as Badman off the board. Solo is going in for that plant. The duelist being the one to be responsible for those plants, but Harsh is going to place that alarm bot, as the backstab coming in from Ghost is going to be very difficult. There you go, the position is revealed, and well, that is going to make sure that Ghost will have to deal with the entire brute of the attack from the side of Rajasthan to retake site for his team.
I mean, Rajasthan, look at this. You talked about this in Ascent, where the duelists were falling a little bit faster than as MW1 was falling. Now you see MW1 is not falling out because they are making sure once they enter. We saw MW1 going down there, but Sai was there immediately to trade him out. But being smart, Ghost took a TP, but then you saw how it happened. Solo was low on HP, did manage to shut down SMX. Sai was there, he made his way into side, he took a couple of kills. They are playing it really smart for the side of Team Rajasthan Strikers. Again, look at this. This save was much needed for Delhi Dragons because it's 11 rounds, and if they lose another round, it's just match point. And the side of Rajasthan Strikers, as the person Jagan asked, it's just that, as Dr. Dang mentioned, they have playing with the same play style. It's both of them playing duelist, and both of them are watching their backs. And Solo is there as an additional duelist who's supporting both these duelists, and you understand how much firepower is just coming from the side of Team Rajasthan. So they're just building more and more. And yeah, Dr. Dang, as you said, the spike is getting planted. I'm pretty sure, looking at this strategy that the side of Team Rajasthan is working, they're letting their duelists and their sentinel and controllers survive a bit longer, because they have lineups, they have the post plan situation which can work out better, and that's the reason their duelists are going in for the entry and the frags and the spike down. This is really well played from the side of Rajasthan, but here Ghost will start things off and helping his team to maybe survive, but it's still a 5v4 situation on the side of Delhi Dragons, and Rajasthan can make this play because they still have two DLS online.
Yep, that's true. I think that the reason that Delhi is having a tougher time is because Rajasthan, they just kept their duelists alive a lot. Sorry, they kept their sentinels alive just a lot longer, and that kind of worked out. Right now, Sai, he's dashed into sight. MW1 is going to be the first one to fall, though. Will he get a kill over here? Yes, he will. He'll pick up Hika. That's another one inside U-Haul, but he will get traded out. Finally, Batman falls to Wimp. Here down to a 3v2, but advantage still for Delhi. But they need to play the retake game now.
Oh my god, Ghost again pulling off this cheeky angle, will shut one down, and Rebel will manage to shoot one more as they bring back 6 on 4 for the side of Team Delhi Dragons. Delhi Dragons now inching just like Rajasthan did in the previous round. However, Rajasthan are at a round differential of 5, and they will try to close it off as soon as possible because they don't want Team Delhi to come anywhere close, because where Delhi catches up, it's just them taking away. But you see now Rajasthan, they understood in the previous playing a 2 duelist, they were able to shut them down with that rotates coming in or an equal push coming together. And that's the reason going out for the side of team Delhi happened, I mean Rajasthan happened in Ascent. But here, this triple duelist setup, they're playing it smart, putting two duelists in one side and the third duelist on another side, who is being supported by another agent. And now that kind of an attack is playing really well. Harsh starting things off, but Ghost still playing in a crossfire and an off angle will shut one down. MW is went down the board, but Wims again trades him back as Solo is down. It's all up to Sai, who's the duelist, but it's still a 3v3 situation for the side of Team Rajasthan Strikers to play this off, as the lockdown will come through for them.
Well, yes, Rajasthan in a 3v3. The spike is going to go down. The attacker Killjoy is about to complete as there are two players inside elbow, and that's a bad surprise for Sai. Wimp is going to fall to Badman as it's all down to Harsh now. He's in a 1v3, but Rebel, no! Oh my god, that is so... Oh, that is so unfortunate. Rebel satcheling into sight is going to get picked up by that turret. The plant is getting pinged. Badman is looking to just sit there as Hika is going to finally get that kill for himself. And well, that is amazing play coming out from the side of Delhi. Like, they made the initial mistakes of dropping their sentinels early in the round, picking aggressive and then losing those bodies, but after that they've just come back stronger and stronger, and they're making sure that they have a fighting chance in this. I mean, yes, they still need we still need to see so many more kills come out from them, but you know you need to make sure that you get those rounds on board. They still have a long way to go, 7 to 11, and they still need these rounds. But I think that with the momentum slowly shifting in the favor of Delhi, we should be seeing we should be seeing a change in the playstyle that Rajasthan brings to the table, because they cannot survive for too long with the same style of pushing that they are. They need 2 rounds, but those 2 rounds might not come if they don't figure out a way to counter strat Delhi right now.
And as you were talking, there's a quick question as this attack pass from one of the teams. Zedai Gaming is asking, still waiting to see Sky Esports casters versus management game. Man, I'm not sure about the news that has come across. We have decided on a date. It might happen, it might not. But as of now, I would say, I mean, we are open to it, but still, there's a lot of hype here, and we do not want to take away anything from the side of the viewers by playing a casters versus management, because this is just too hype for me, and I'm happy with this itself because I don't want to show the real side of what we can do.
Chat, Lucifer is
Fun.
just afraid of the chat when he's playing. So yeah,
Exactly.
yeah, that's the only reason. There's no other reason for that.
Yeah.
There is a game that is planned, but we do not have dates for it just yet.
Exactly.
But yes, it eventually will be happening. We are just not sure when. So right as we speak about that, Solo did get 1 kill, but it was Badman who fell in showers, and then there was a kill onto Solo, who was on top of the boxes, who boosted himself up. His position got known. Ghost is going to get another one onto Harsh. MW1 did get one. Rebel will fall to Wimp, and that is going to put us in a 2v2 once again. Ghost, he needs to pick up that weapon to make sure that he has a fighting chance in this 2v2, but the rotate has already come in from the side of Rajasthan.
Yep, and the Empress Online, where look at MW, and he's already pushed up so close. Ghost is just doing random spirits to figure out if there's somebody here, as he's completely running around. His footsteps are being heard, and a beautiful recon coming in. SMX makes an advantage, but Ghost will go down. Now it's all up to him, and it's a 1v1 situation. Shock that's coming across, and SMX will miss his head as Wimp will shut with an headshot, and match point online for the side of Team Rajasthan Strikers. They wished for it, they're getting it, and they look like they can walk away with the win again on Bind, and it will be the map that Rajasthan have not been shut down yet. And while that was happening, there was a question from one of the viewers. I did not read it perfectly, but I did not read the name, but it said the content creators are playing really good. What do you think the future will they be there in the professional play? And it's their call, just like MW1, it's their call. They enjoy being a content creator, and they're enjoying having a lot of fun during this tournament. But at the end of the day, if they want to play professional, there's a kind of a schedule, there's a kind of discipline that somebody needs to maintain. And that will wreck certain people's nerves. And if they're up for it, they can go for it. But Sai is up for it as he shuts Ghost down. And you can put in your views as well, Dang.
I mean, yeah. Um, After playing a game professionally, what one thing that I have realized is being a professional player in any game, be it Valorant or any other game of your choice, it's not an easy job. As Lucifer said, you need discipline, you need to put in a lot of hard work. And one of the reasons that content creators do not switch over to professional play is again something that I did realize. It takes the charm away from the game. It takes the same charm that you had during. But no, SMX, no, he just gets a little greedy for that orb and he's going to pay with his life. But he gets to, finally falls to Sai, but at this point, in a man advantage, this is looking tough for the side of Delhi to survive for bind on. It's down to Badman, who is going to fall to Wimp, and well, Rebel, he is stuck. He's really just stuck between a rock and a hard place. He's getting covered up from every single location. His position is probably going to get checked. It will, and MW1 will be the one to land that final bullet to the head. And there you go. We are sitting at a 1-1, 12, or rather 13-9 on Ascent for Delhi, and a 13-7 on bind for Rajasthan.
Now, this is where I said Rajasthan is really good in this map. They've never lost this map till date. Yes, they've lost a couple of rounds. They've lost to a team. They did not get a flawless victory, but they've not lost on bind till date. And they're just carrying that forward. Looking forward to this. If there's a bind pick coming from any teams, they need to make a note of it. Like, we understand you ban a map and then you play on another map, but you make sure you ban bind for Rajasthan Strikers. They are just outright playing really well. And Sai, you see, this is the nerve wracking part. I say it pressures you a lot, and you need to make sure, even with that pressure, being a professional player, you need to keep your composure and your aim on point. If not, it's very difficult to be uh, a professional player. And as Dr. Dang mentioned, being a content creator has its own merits, where they play a lot of games, they read it a little bit very good, they understand, they enjoy the game in terms of the characters, the abilities, and they play more for fun, as they want the viewers to also enjoy. And that's the reason they would most probably continue that. But there are a little bit of individuals who switch from content creators to professional players, from professional players to content creators. And Dang mentioned, it's at the end of the their call on how they want to move forward.
That is true, and it really just is a big deal for a lot of players because if you look at them, they have the skill. It's not like they don't have the skill. It's just that whether they have the mentality that is there needed for a player to play professional. Because I don't know if many of you know this, but the difference between a good professional player and a bad or not a bad professional player, but someone who is not made for professional play is going to be mindset. It requires a very specific and a very dedicated mindset to esports to really succeed as a professional player. It is not easy, trust me. Like, if you feel that, oh, I'm going to grind and reach immortal and radiant and then professional playing easy, it's not. The toll that professional play takes on your mind, it takes on your mindset, it takes on your mood, it's a big thing. And you can ask this to any of your favorite pro. Like, you could ask this to whoever you think is your favorite professional player in the Indian Valorant scene, and their answer will be the same. It's the mindset of a player that makes him a good pro player. You cannot be a good pro player simply by having good aim. You can have aim like Deathmaker, you can have aim like Excali, you can have aim like Rossi, but if you do not have the mindset that Rossi, Deathmaker, and Excali have, you will not succeed as a professional player. It's that simple.
Yep, I completely agree with you, Dang. And as you said, the mentality is something that what a pro player need. Because if you look at the leaderboards of Radiant, you see a lot of people who you do not know in the professional community as a professional esports player. The only reason being, as me and Dr. Dang mentioned, it takes a lot more effort. Being a Radiant, yes, you would have put in a lot of grind, but once you go into a professional tournament or become a professional player, it requires the next step of addition of being very disciplined and working it out together as a team. Because if one person in your team is not in the right mind or is not feeling that day, and you're still trying to battle it out with keeping that same mindset, yes, he can still do, then you will almost be going on. And that's the reason the whole list of Radiant people you see, it's not that all the Radiants are out there being a pro player. They enjoy getting into that rank and they're just happy with it. So leaving it at there, this map of Bind was really intense, Dr. Dang. I mean, this matchup that just happened was out of the box, what Delhi did not think. Because on Ascent, I would say Delhi was ready for the kind of strategy coming in from Rajasthan. They were ready to counteract it. They were fighting it really well. But here on Bind, it was a little bit of a different playstyle that Rajasthan strikers played. And as we saw, Rajasthan strikers were not completely letting their sentinels or controllers go for a spike plant or get into a site as soon as possible. They were making sure their duelists enter, and only assistance is given from the side of team, from their teammates, and not having an initiator and still pulling this off. Really well played from the side of Rajasthan, and that's where the duelist played a huge role here. Triple duelist setup, having the controller, having that killjoy as like a controller, but to hold down on the attack flanks. That was really well played from the side of Harsh, and managed to get so many kills on their side. Because you saw Delhi Dragons understood what Rajasthan was trying to do. They tried to counteract it, but immediately Rajasthan understood what Delhi thought of their gameplay. And you saw a couple of rounds did come to Delhi. Then Rajasthan immediately changed it, where their controllers or sentinels were coming into play in between. And that's where Delhi were a little bit. Wait, in the previous round they did not enter. It was only duelists. Now what is happening here? That time, what they thought was, let's try to bait out one of our sentinels or controllers and pick up a lot of frags. And that's what they did in the end rounds. You saw Sai was waiting for that mistake to happen. He just held B long so long that SMX thought, let me pick up an alt-top, let me make a rotate, and SMX caught off guard. Rajasthan played on the nerves of Delhi Dragons in the map of Bind.
I agree. I think that what Delhi was able to do on Ascent is exactly what Rajasthan did on Bind. They figured out what the other team wanted to do. They figured out
Mhm.
what the goal was for the side of for the side of Delhi on Bind, and when that happened, there was nothing really coming out. I don't know whether Delhi did not figure this out, that they are getting counter stratted, or they just kind of kept doing what they felt they were doing. They were doing, and they figured out that, oh, we made this mistake, we'll not make it this time. But there was a separate mistake that was made, and that would be the reason that Rajasthan would capitalize on it and get that round. So not sure, but Delhi, they need to go back to the drawing board and figure out how Bind works for them, because they still
Yeah.
have flaws in their armor. They just need to figure those out. They need to find them and they need to fix them, because if a team like Rajasthan is able to exploit them and show them so perfectly that bad man pushing showers, bad man trying to be aggressive in shower with that killjoy setup, either trying to get an alarm bot down or a turret down, either ways, the fact that they lost the killjoy as the first frag so many times again on
Mhm.
defense, you need to make sure that on defense the first blood goes to you. I mean, obviously it's
Yep.
not going to be perfect all the time and you will lose a body eventually on defense first, but majority of the times it happening, that's not the play. That is not what should be happening for you, and you need to make sure that it does not continue to happen like that, because if it does, well, we saw what happened. You lose a killjoy early up, you lose so much control on the map, and well, after that things just get more and more difficult from there.
Yep. The side of Rajasthan read what Delhi was about to do to them. They played it. If you saw, they were just switching up rounds. One round they were very fast. One round they were very slow. For Delhi, it was completely nerve wracking. The same thing what Delhi managed to do on Ascent is what the side of Rajasthan here read them. Because we understand Rajasthan, once they get a little bit worried about their gameplay, they'll get a little bit aggressive. But here on Bind, they were confident on the map. They've played it so many times. They've won so many times, and for a team to do a knockout of 13-0 on in front of the previous 2020 champion, just says that how good bind is for them, and that's what Rajasthan was ready for, and that's the reason. You see, if somebody brings a triple duelist setup on bind, we have seen Mumbai Aces doing that. They have not been able to capitalize it in a couple of matches. Yes, one or two they did manage to close it, but not always. However, on the side of Rajasthan, their bind strategy has not been the same. Yes, it will be Sai on the Jet. Yes, it will be MW1 on that Reina, but the other three teammates are the one which are making matters a little bit difficult for the whole team to read it. You saw Harsh played a cipher on bind the last matchup that Rajasthan had. Today he's playing a killjoy. Wimp did not play at all, but Wimp came in today, played a controller solo. He plays a controller. He plays a sentinel. He plays a duelist. He plays an initiator. So many roles given to him that the team of Delhi Dragons were not sure, because in Ascent, it was the usual lineup: two duelists, one initiator, one controller, one sentinel. That's the usual throughout the matches where we have two sides, and that's the reason Delhi could shut them down, because the initiator duelist sentinel setup was very similar to what they were ready for. But here, bringing a triple duelist, no initiator, means they're not giving you any information of where they can come depending on the recon coming in or the owl drone coming in. They're just executing once their duelists are ready to rush into a site, because of which it gets difficult for SMX, who's the only initiator. He has to support on the side of A, he has to support on the side of B as well. I understand he cannot play both the sides, but you understand, once there's a Sova or another flasher in terms of a breach or a Sky coming in, you understand, okay, if there's an initiator, there should be a duelist along with them. But doing that kind of a gameplay where there's no initiator and them trying to push once their duelists were ready on two different positions, you saw if it was a B attack, it was Sai who was ready at long with MW1, and it was solo pushing from hookah with either Harsh or Wimp. And this kind of a setup was not ready for the side of Delhi Dragons. They did understand in a couple of rounds. That's the reason they came till 7. But after that, Rajasthan then played it on the nerves of the side of team Delhi Dragons, where you saw Sai was holding very, very slow. He was just holding it strong in a couple of positions, and there his team was doing an execution on another side, where the side of team Delhi Dragons was doing an unintended push, because of which one of their teammates were going down, and a man advantage cropped up for the side of team Rajasthan Strikers, and they just capitalized it from there on. You saw Badman coming in from Lamps. Yes, he picked up two kills, but there was MW1 immediately who came back as a duelist, traded him off, had his Empress so many times online, and did the job for the side of Rajasthan Strikers. Even the even the round where match point came online for the side of Rajasthan Strikers, it was a 1v1 situation. It was Wimp versus SMX. Now, SMX was an initiator, whereas Wimp was a controller. Wimp had used almost of his utilities. I think he just had a Molly, or I'm not sure if he used it, the Molly as well. So now he does not have utilities, whereas the side of SMX, he does. He could have played it. He did play with his recon where he managed to shut down MW1, but I was not sure whether he had a shock dart more available. But you now understand what happened there. Now, his location was known as MW Invent, and Wimp was just ready for that pick. And SMX had to connect the first shot for Delhi to get in, but Wimp was just way better in that moment. That face off just went better because Wimp had that off angle, whereas SMX had to come to him. Now, Rajasthan just played like that, playing on the nerves where Delhi had to push to them rather than them pushing to Delhi, which just completely worked out in the favor of team Rajasthan Strikers.
That's true. And as we end our discussion on bind, we are going to be making our way into haven. So we are going to be having another round of predictions from you, and well, this is going to be very, very interesting going forward. Haven is a map that has not been very, very, as you can say, helpful for teams that have faced Rajasthan on this map. So I am very skeptical as to what Delhi are going to be bringing, but well, Rajasthan has fallen on Haven as well. So this is going to be something that we will have to, you know, we will have to see whether it plays the same way that we expect it to play, or is it going to be Delhi coming out on top, showing us that they have something in them that Rajasthan does not know about.
Now the pick again from the side of Rajasthan Strikers, the usual two duelists, one initiator, one controller, and one sentinel. They are attackers. I mean, they could have gone for a
Choose your
triple duelist
agent.
setup, but you understand, if you are carrying a triple duelist setup from a previous round to another round, it would get a bit difficult, because Mumbai Aces once did that, managed to go down, but then they came back better on a triple duelist setup and managed to shut down. Now you exploit that same triple duelist setup in all the maps, will not work out. And I think that's the reason they've switched back to their usual lineup. But I think the usual lineup still not having an Astra or some other agent in terms of an initiator also might be something a little bit difficult for the side of Rajasthan, because Delhi Dragons have read this usual lineup or the agent selection from the side of Team Rajasthan Strikers. That's why Ascent worked out in the favor of Team Delhi Dragons. Now going into heaven, I would say it's equal chance for both these teams. Rajasthan has been good, and certain times Rajasthan has not been good, as Dr. Dang mentioned. However, for the side of Delhi Dragons, for the most part, they have been good on this map. The only times they could not close this map was in front of Rajasthan itself. So I'm looking forward to what Delhi Dragons can do, because the lineup seems similar. And if they have read the side of Team Delhi Rajasthan Strikers like previously in Ascent, it should be something that Rajasthan can go down on this map as well, being their own pick.
Well, I don't know about that. Rajasthan, last time they had their own pick, things did not go to plan for them. But I think it is time that we make our way into Haven and let's see how this map pans out. So it's going to be Rebel starting things off. He's going to get one. MW1 does get a trade on the Ghost, but Hika is there to get that trade for him. He gets traded out by Wimp. SMX gets solo. Badman gets Wimp. It's all down to Badman. Oh wait, it's all down to Harsh, sorry, who is going to be getting his counterpart of Cypher, and that is going to give Delhi a quick start to the first round. They predicted the B rush coming in from Rajasthan, and well, perfect prediction.
Mhm. This is really good going in from the side of Delhi Dragons, because it's the usual lineup. Delhi Dragons are ready for this from the side of Rajasthan Strikers. Pulling it off. Now they have a bonus buy for them, but look at the side of Rajasthan. They're going in for a force buy. And if that does not work in their favor, this is going to be an economy damage, and 3 or 4-0 might be the score as we move into the fourth round.
Well, yes, moving into this bonus right now, though, I think. Oh no, SMX, no, that was so close. I never want to see a player with utility out and getting peaked, because I know for a fact it is so frustrating for you to get taken out like that. As Sova versus the Sova, it's going to be SMX coming out on top, but MW1 with the Spectre. He's a beast on this weapon. Like every single time that he picks up the Spectre, you're expected to see kills from him. As Lear is going to get pushed out onto Link to prevent a push coming in, it's going to be another paranoia as well, as Rajasthan, keeping man advantage, are going to get the spike down.
Mhm. Now the spike is down. It is a disadvantage for the side of Delhi Dragons. They need to play it smart, and SMX will make his shot at MW1, who is making matters worse for the side of Team Delhi Dragons. But look at their attack coming through. There was a backstab. Hirsch managed to take one, but SMX is still proving strong. 2 kills. He has already taken 3, I would say. 3k already. But look at the post-plan situation. Hika going down. Now it's all up to SMX, and Sai will manage to shut him down. A beautiful crossfire held from the side of Rajasthan Strikers, and making sure their force buy works in their favor. Well played, Rajasthan. Now it's an echo from the side of Team Delhi Dragons, because their bonus did not work in their favor, whereas Rajasthan pushed their round and managed to close it out in their favor. This is a really good play coming in from Rajasthan, but it's still the usual lineup, and the full buy comes through for the side of Delhi Dragons. They can make matters worse.
Yep, that's true. I think that for the side of Delhi, this is still going to be a very difficult game to finish off, because as we said earlier, this is not going to be an easy this is not going to be an easy game for them. Rajasthan, they're very strong on this map. They've proven that time and time again. And for Delhi to take this win, it's going to require a lot of presence of mind. It's going to require them to basically keep their head in the game. And right as we speak about that, it's a kill from Hika, but Badman, he sneaked up C long. And that's a smart pick. He's going to check for that peak, but he's going to walk right into that shock dart. Falls to Wimp, but Ghost, he did pick up a kill. So there is going to be an equal trade differential between both these teams, and Harsh is holding the backstab. He's going to get Rebel and SMX. It's all down to Ghost, 74 HP and a Vandal in hand, but his footsteps have given his position away.
Ooh, MW1 and a better stab. He will manage to shut down and will also pick up a rifle in his favor, I guess. Now, that should have been a save from the side of Ghost because he had picked up a Vandal for his team. If he, I'm not sure now because now the creds will not be great. Hopefully, if he has his Blade Storms online, it should be a good round for him. But okay, I guess he was good on creds. I did not see that. Now that's a full buy coming in. However, it's not full shields from the side of Team Delhi Dragons. Look at their buys coming across for as Rajasthan. They're comfortable with what they have. Their creds are also a bit better than what Delhi Dragons stand. But Delhi Dragons need to make a comeback here if they want an equalizer, or their creds will not be long enough.
That's true. Their credits are not going to be staying for long, as Rebel is going to make, a play and get his team around. And that's a good start. Delhi getting that first pick onto Rajasthan's player is going to make it difficult for them to make this work. But Ghost pushing into the smoke, not the right decision, my friend, as you are going to get taken up. And well, MW1, he's not someone that you can deal with so easily, as a shock dart lineup coming in from SMX is going to be used for B, but not sure whether it was used for a default plant or to push someone out of cubby. But still, 4v4 is where we stand.
Yep, and this is the second. I mean, yes, it happened on the opposite side. That happened to Sai previously when he pushed into a smoke, but now Hika's position completely known, 13 HP, and Wimp will shut him down. Empress online for the side of MW, and he'll take one. It's up to the last two people who have rifles. This should be a save coming in, but they will not. They want to commit to this as Empress is coming very close as Rebel will shut two people down. It's back to a 2v2 situation. Showstopper online for the side of Rebel. He needs to play it smart. One position ping. If Showstopper goes online, this should be really difficult for the side of Team Rajasthan Strikers to play on the post plant, and it's all up to Rebel now. But Rebel does not shoot us, and Solo will take it down, and SMX now on 30 HP should only and wish for a save, and he does that because Showstopper is what play that was needed. I'm not sure why Rebel did not fire it before opening up to Solo, and headshot being landed on Rebel. That was a round that was brought back but then given away.
Yep, that's true. After Rebel picking those initial two frags on CT, that was a very clutchable round for Delhi. But Rajasthan, they just vacated site. They gave up site. They said plant us for long. We're going to play the long range game. And well, that was the right decision. Rebel fell into that bait of pinging that defuse once, and he got taken out. So Jagan's question is, Rajasthan losing today's match doesn't affect their place in leaderboard. They are still in top position. Is this the reason that Rajasthan is going to play without any pressure because they are playing very cool today? Well, Jagan, I think that irrespective of whether they're at the top spot or at the bottom spot, every single team wants to take a win. So that is what Rajasthan is going to be playing for. And right as we speak about that, they are going to be picking up a first kill. The second kill goes up as well. Badman falls, and that is MW1 really wreaking havoc on the side of Delhi.
Yep, and Hirsch picking up more kills as Ghost is trying to survive for his team. He picks one, but it's still a two-man disadvantage to the side of Team Delhi Dragons as Ghost has his ultimate, picks up a rifle. He needs to get a couple of more kills as Rebel did previously, but Rebel is going to pick for a rifle. Both of them have good rifles now. HP is also okay. They have shields, but MW1 will not let Ghost survive for long. It's all up to Rebel, who has a rifle. He'll spotted MW1, he shut him down, and Sai is now there to trade it out, and Sai will not let Rebel survive for long as it's a 4-1. 5 rounds done. 4 points is where Rajasthan with a 3-round differential stand in front of Delhi Dragons. And as Jagan asked, I mean, I have a counteract. It does not look like Rajasthan is cool today. I mean, you saw the first map, how it went out from their hand. It was also getting the same way in the second map on Bind. Yes, it was still a round differential, but they had to change their strategies constantly. Here, as well in Heaven, they have to show up huge so that they can fight it out and get 2 points at least. Because you see, on the points table, the difference is only 1.5 in Hyderabad, and Hyderabad win one more match, and if Rajasthan lose this, Hyderabad will take on the top one spot, and that's not great for the side of Rajasthan as MW1 speaking will make matters worse as Rebel is gone down. They do not have a duelist now.
Yep, that is true. The duelist has been picked up. The Raze is going to be the one to fall, but so will MW1 because SMX with the the Firebolt from the Owl Drone is going to ping MW1 and will finish him off with the Hunter's Fury. So that is a good use of utility. But Wimp and Harsh are going to make Badman second guess himself as they're going to pick up a kill. The Neural Theft comes out, is going to reveal the position of every single player as the recon is going to prevent a push coming in to site. Ghost is going to be running away from A site because he just wants to save his weapon along with his teammate of Hika.
Yep, that operator. It's a 5000 cred weapon, and you fight it out in front of a 4 v2 situation. You know, the firepower is not great from operator, but one bullet is more than enough for that operator. So they need to play it smart if they even want to do a retake. It is possible. It's not like it is not. But however, look at that. The post plan situation for the side of team Rajasthan striker would be better because they do
Last
have
player
the Hunter's
standing.
Fury ready. But Ghost will manage to go down as Vim pushes, and now the operator is down, and Solo is playing around with his own smoke to do something. I'm not sure what, but they have lost an operator as there's no way of recovering it from the side of team Delhi Dragons, and Hika has to play with only what he saves for his team of Delhi Dragons. And with the rounds going away from the side of Delhi Dragons, Rajasthan look to be making their way back into the points table.
Well, that's a good spray. If you do remember this spray, you are an OG player of Valorant. This was, I believe, the spray that came in the first battle pass or maybe the second one. Not really certain about that, but yes, it makes me feel bad that I missed out on it. But the recon dart will get destroyed and that will give the position away of at least some presence inside mid. But Owl Drone is not going to be checking the corner. Ghost could be set up for a kill. Yes, he will get one, but he won't get the second. He's still going to put an end to MW1 as Sai will put an end to Ghost and Rebel. Finally falling to Hika, who gets taken out by Solo. And well, the refrag game on Rajasthan is just absolutely
Player
insane.
standing.
What a flick was that from
Spike
Wimp?
planted.
Wimp was playing into CT. He spots a nozzle coming out. He just flicks into Hika. And Hika, not Hika, I'm sorry. I guess it was the initiator. And what? Sova goes down immediately. And now it's all up to Badman, who has a Marshall. Nothing to work with a lot, but he has been crazy on this Marshall. He picked up 2k in Ascent with headshots, and now he does stand a chance, but this Cypher camera will not let him survive for long as Harsh, who is his own clone, will destroy him. And 6 rounds online for the side of Team Rajasthan Strikers, and rolling in is the 8th round with 5 round differential for the side of Team Delhi Dragons.
Well, I think that where Rajasthan is playing this really smart is the fact that instead of committing to one side, they're trying to commit to a push. And that is smart for two reasons. Because if they commit to site, it's like, all right, we're only going C, and C is only the site that we want to go to. But you realize that Delhi is also going to start rotating players that side. So instead, what they do is they plan for a push. Their push is, we're going to push 2 here, we're going to push 2 to A, we're going to push 1 to B, or let 1 be the lurker and then push 2 C. And if that push from any 3 of these players works out, we're going to
Spike
eventually
down
make
B.
our way to the site that we think is the most clear. So for Delhi, that is always going to hold them into the position that they are. And if Delhi has a man at disadvantage on one of these sites, say it A, B or C, well, Rajasthan is going to capitalize on that. But right now, it's Delhi who has capitalized because we are down to a 4v2 with Delhi being the ones in the advantage.
I mean, this was a good round from the side of Team Delhi Dragons. If you saw, they started it off like they wanted that rush to come in because, as you said, as you were mentioning, Dr. Dang, every time they are going into a site which is different from their initial attack. And that was really well played from the side of Team Rajasthan Strikers. But now Delhi understood that. Delhi is waiting for the push to come in, and now the spike has lost. They need to fight for the spike. 32 seconds on the clock. It does not
30
matter for
seconds
the
left.
side of Team Delhi Dragons whether they. Uh, Whether the clock runs out, but because they have the spike, they will let go of this again.
Last
Solo
player
picking up.
standing.
This is like a very aggressive push coming in, and Solo picks up one more in his favor. Badman is very low on health, as is the Sova. They need to play smart. The spike still not picked up from the
10
side of
seconds
Solo. He's
left.
looking for the kills. He's running around as Badman is just waiting, wasting time as Badman will pick up the kill. And Solo was a heavy lifter here. He got a 3k for his team But you understand, Delhi Dragons played a little bit smarter here. And if that did not happen from the side of Delhi Dragons, Solo would have picked more and more kills. And the only thing, as viewers, you need to pick is the vaccine.
Yep, that is true. Make sure that you get yourself registered for the vaccine, and when it is eventually available for you, you will make sure that you get that shot, because you know it is going to be very, very important for you to make sure that you are a part of helping this pandemic and not um, be a part of spreading it even more. So make sure that you pick up the vaccine. Still, if you, even after getting the vaccine, make sure that you wear your mask when you do go outside, and if it's not needed, please do not go outside, because it is not needed at all. When you can sit inside and watch these amazing games in Sky Esports, what is the need to go outside, step outside?
I mean, there's such amazing tournaments coming. There's so insane gameplays coming in. You don't know what's going to happen. As Ghost will mode on two people, he knows what is up. As MW1 will pick him back. Equal trades, Rebel will do it. Hika will take one, but MW1 still surviving, bringing back for his team. But Badman on that lurk will shut MW1 any further. And this round, Delhi Dragons, waiting for what Rajasthan is trying to throw, is playing out right into their hands. Now you saw this Ghost position. They did not wait for that recon to ping his location and just rushed in with a paranoia. Ghost was so close, was the reason this round rolled into the side of Delhi Dragons.
Well, here is one thing that I learned from experience, and that is that bunny hopping in Valorant gives you no advantage except in pistol rounds. Now, hear me out on this. Bunny hopping is going to be slower than normal walking without, without holding shift. So it is going to be slower than that. You make a lot more noise, and well, you are going to be having an hang air time, which can. Oh, ooh, what a connect!
Sided a hang air time there.
Oh, what a connect from Sai. Oh.
That's insane.
That's a clean shot if you've ever seen one. Ghost, you gotta accept it. Like, that was a good night and a half.
Wow.
Yep.
Insanely picked up by Sai. Now again, back to disadvantage to the side of team Delhi Dragons, but Hika is trying his best as Solo will sweep him off the feet, and it's back to Badman and SMX as Badman is also swept off as him and W1 will pick. It's all up to SMX, who Sai gets pushed from, but he will manage to shut him. SMX takes one more, but Wimp, as soon as he knows his position, will help out his teammate and shut down SMX, and bringing back to advantage is the side of team Rajasthan Strikers, back to a 4-round advantage. You saw what happened in this round. Now, Delhi understood what Rajasthan was trying to do. Rajasthan was trying to aggress into different sides, because of which they were getting picked off very easily. And again, you see this. Now, again, the pick came off in the favor of Team Rajasthan Strikers. They immediately rotated to C, because once that pick comes through, when you are at a disadvantage on a site, you want to make sure more people are available to fight it off. And that confidence not being there in the side of Team Delhi Dragons, that yes, we can still fight it out, let the aggression come, or I will, the person on the side who's still alive, make his way back and then play for a retake, not happening with the side of Delhi Dragons, is where Rajasthan is just capitalizing. Again, look at this. Their aggression is completely spread out. They're looking for a pick, and as Dr. Dang mentioned, then going for the C execution as Ghost. What a shot on Sai that was!
Oh, he is going to get his revenge back. And that is going to put Hika and SMX on the board for getting kills for each other. And well, that is going to be a flawless round coming out from the side of Delhi.
Last round in the half.
This was very slow from the side of Rajasthan. Now, Rajasthan did not aggress. They got punished.
Yep.
That's what happened here.
That's true. I think the real reason that we saw this the score right now 7-4, we either see a 7-5 or we see an 8-4. Irrespective of either those, I think that Delhi can definitely come back, but they'll have to make sure that they take the pistol for themselves after this round. But right now, we are still going to be in the first half of Haven. Ghost, he's going to get spotted. He will have to fall back, but no. Harsh and Solo are going to collect both those kills. And Rajasthan have a huge advantage, making their way into the last section of this game. The TP comes out from Solo. He knows that Rebel is at CT and he does take damage from that Hunter's Fury. But MW1, he's ready with the Empress, and this could really be something that Rajasthan are going to walk away with.
Yep, so many ultimates used from the side of team Rajasthan Striker to make sure they make an A execution, and Solo still picking up kills. MW1 right behind him. Yes, Hika will manage to take one for his team, but the spike still not gone through. Now the spike is coming, but before it does, look at MW1. Not even inch he moved. He just shut down a beautiful headshot on the side of. I guess that was Badman who was the last man surviving. What a good round from the side of Rajasthan. Now you saw the aggression coming in, and to counteract it, the side of team Delhi again went for a peak. That was okay. So I'm sorry, Badman was already shut down when Ghost was already shut down together. So this is what Delhi Dragons at certain times understand what Rajasthan is trying to do. They do not give up kills more and more. But again, here getting in such a pressurized situation that they lost an operator, they need the frag in their favor, or that will be an advantage that Rajasthan might push in, and Badman giving an overpeak. Solo will immediately trade him. I mean, not even trade, will pick him as a free kill or an advantage kill on the side of Rajasthan and walk away the 8-4 split. And as you said, Dr. Dang, now this pistol round is much important for the side of Team Delhi Dragons.
Yep, I agree. This pistol is very, very important for the side of Delhi Dragons, because if they don't take this, that's basically game over. You get a free pass to 10-4, and after that, you kind of just give up. As Sai, he will have to make a fallback because of that grenade. But Hika, he's connecting that kill. MW1 did get one onto Ghost. MW1 will get a second. He'll get a third. Sai is going to join that, and a fourth for MW1. Oh boy, this is
This time Sai stole his ace.
this time it almost feels like with this round done, it feels that Rajasthan basically have a free pass to victory.
Yep. I mean, look at their execution. I mean, I really like the rotations are a bit faster from the side of Rajasthan. You saw, yes, Delhi did their rotations, but their rotations was them waiting a lot for their team to make their way from A to B. I understand it's a long way to make, but look at the rotations already being called out from the side of Team Rajasthan. You know, Sai was at mid, MW1 was also there. C side, however, both of these players were not there. But once they understood the rush is happening from to C, that garage has already been taken over, they immediately forgot of the other situations and moved into C. And then Sai and MW1 mowed people down. Again, starting things with Sai and MW1 picking 2K, and it's the last man surviving. That's Badman. He just has a classic to play or wait it off until he is also shut down.
Well, for Badman, he really needs to make sure that he gets taken out, because otherwise he's not going to be getting enough creds in the next round. And yes, Sai gets that 3k. He will collect that kill. As we said, a free pass to 10-4.
Oh my god. 10-4 already. Double digits online. Rajasthan looking for this victory will again make sure they take it away. Look at this. This is aggression from the side of Rajasthan strikers. But the thing is, tables have turned at this moment. It was nerve working for the side of Rajasthan on the first map. But now Rajasthan taking a victory on Bind, such a good victory. It's just getting nerve wracking for the side of Team Delhi Dragons now. They are unsure of what they can do better, because aggression of any side they're trying to execute is just being met from on the hands of either MW1 or Sai, who is ready. And look at it again. MW1 picks off a free kill, especially pushed off from Garage. You cannot let that happen, and the spike is already lost from the side of Team Rajasthan, but Hika will manage to shut one down. Another one, but Wimp will manage to take trades back and bring it back to a 2v2 situation. So many bodies lost. Again, the spike which was about to be picked up is lost, as Wimp will manage to shut down. He's looking for that location with that Owl drone. He will manage to look out for Rebel, but before that happens, Ghost will manage to take it down as two people are alive. Recon comes through, which needs to be destroyed before they can do anything better, as Sai has his operator is ready and picks up 2 kills. And 11th round online for the side of Team Rajasthan Strikers. Look at this, they played it really well, and so many times we've understood spike going down is just very difficult for the attackers.
Yep, the spike lost in such an open area, and well, after that you do not really have too much wiggle room, and it kind of made it very difficult for Ghost and Rebel to get the spike, irrespective of whether there was Sai holding it down with that op. But with the op, there was really no way that you were going to get that. especially with the op in the hands of Sai, you're not going to be going very far away
Yep.
with it.
What a beautiful shot that does connect to Rebel. He's so low on HP now.
Oh.
And Wimp connects one more shot. Sai is ready. He's looking for another one. He's just randomly trying to be a smoke criminal here. He can land one on Rebel if he sprays a little bit longer, but it's a ghost. You will empty its magazine. So good call. And he will go back. And double drone comes through. It looks for another person. It will tag that. And now Blade Storms is what Ghost has to play with because they are on a man disadvantage.
Give me those
Yep,
back.
that's true. They are on the man disadvantage. Ghost coming in with the Stormblades. This Cloud Burst will get dropped as he will recover a weapon. He has a Vandal now. Harsh does get pinged like a Christmas tree thanks to that recon, but he will make his way out. He's going to get spotted right as he makes his way in, but Ghost is spotted as well. The weapon comes out. The Vandal is going to connect. MW1 did get one, but Sai, he is going to get to SMX, who was just trying to do 360s in the air. It's finally Rebel is going to get that kill. Ghost at 1 HP. This is clutchable, very clutchable from MW1, but Ghost with the 4K. Irrespective of his HP, and a thrifty round for attackers. Delhi still alive in this.
Yep, I mean, if Ghost did not make the initial frags and those covers did not come from his team, it would have been difficult because you saw how close Wimp was already there on A-Link. That cover, if did not come through him, Ghost would have been down already before he could have made his way and picked up a rifle. That was a good round from the side of team Delhi Dragons, but Rajasthan Strikers, look at them looking strong. Back again with the operator. Yes, that situation where tables were turned, MW1 had to go for that, and the operator online proved that Ghost is just going to make sure that the person who's coming to them does not survive for long, whether it's a 1 HP clutch or a 10 HP clutch, he will clutch it. Now again, the operator online from both these sides, Hika will do the opening frags. He'll shut one down, but Sai is ready with an operator, but the boom bot comes his way as Badman along with the equal, timed push from the side of Team Delhi Dragons will shut down Sai, and then again the operator is lost. This is what was needed from the side of Team Delhi Dragons. The push that was coming from Rajasthan was being shut down, and they are doing it really well. They just need to look for more as Ghost will pick one more, and it's back to disadvantage from the side of Rajasthan Striker. 2 men alive. It's all up to MW1 and Harsh.
Oh. Well, that is going to make things very difficult for Rajasthan to come back in this, or rather come back into site A, because as the smokes are going to get dropped, MW1, he does have 2 layers, but will he be able to make that work? He's going to spot one, but the shoulder peeking from Badman is going to land him a kill. He does get eventually traded out, but Hika, as we have known since Ascent, is there for his team, is there for his teammates to make sure that they have a shoulder to rest on, and well, that is going to make the economy of the side of Delhi pretty strong in this situation, but they still have a long way to go. This is similar to the scoreline that we saw on Bind. Rajasthan just need 2 to finish this off. Delhi, they've got a big task ahead of them.
Yep, I mean, this is what happened in the map of Bind also. Delhi picked up a couple of rounds, and then Rajasthan understood, okay, they have read that our aggression is ready for them even on defense or attack, and they are trying to counter-stack it where they're waiting for us to take a kill. And now I think Rajasthan would recreate their strategy and play something different so that move into match point as soon as possible. But Keval Patel asks a question. Content creators like Rebel, Solo, and many more are giving amazing performances for their teams. Does this show the skill set of Valorant gaming community in India? One word answer, man. Yes, absolutely.
Yep, I obviously, like, it just tells you that there are so many there are so many players that are not there in professional teams but are still extremely good. So that just tells you that there is going to be a lot more, as you can say, coming from the community in the coming years, whether it be in the form of professional players or in the form of content creators. We are going to be having an amazing we're going to be having an amazing show up in terms of skill.
This is just really well played from the side of both these teams, and especially content creators. That guys, content creators have just shown up really huge. But here again, making a lot of damage. Ghost will start things off. Rebel will make his way inside. He'll shut one more. Now it's back to a disadvantage for the side of Rajasthan, and their aggression is
Spike
completely being met as perfect as they want. As Sai's Blade Storm will get one kill on. Wait, was it the other? Wait, how did Sai get a kill on Ghost?
Um,
Wait, what?
Not sure, but MW1 is going to fall to Hika in a sneaky spot, and that will give Delhi the man advantage that they need. Harsh, he only has a sheriff with him. Sai does have a weapon, but he should make sure that he has enough bullets in the magazine. There you go. The reload is going to get popped, but Harsh, he still is only going to have to work with the sheriff. The spike is down though, so for Delhi this could be a very, very clutchable round. They do not have to worry about too much, but they're running away and not looking at Harsh. It's all down to SMX. He falls to the spike as well, and Sai is the lone survivor. The round goes in the favor of Delhi, but they lost a lot of weapons. They dropped 2 frags for no reason.
That's really smart, and we have talked this. We have seen a lot of times players not doing that, but Hirsch played it smart. He made sure that let us do damage, because what is happening now? Delhi is getting more and more rounds just because of their economy, and until and unless you do damage to their economy, you cannot bring it back, because if they are a rifle advantage, they will try and keep fighting as much as possible, and doing a damage to their rifle economy is where they will start worrying that if they do not win this round, it will be getting difficult for us. And that's the reason Harsh made that happen, and Sai went for the save. Otherwise, both of them could have picked up one rifle each and made for a save. But you understand, more than dealing a damage, economy is what was worrying for the side of Team Rajasthan Strikers. And now you look at the damage they're doing for the side of Team Delhi Dragons, as it's all up to SMX.
Well, yes, it is all down to SMX. He's going to pick up 2, but he's down to 5 HP, as we said. And with Sai on that op and Solo on the Omen, he's not going to be having an easy time at all. And he's going to cross paths with Sai eventually, because this long angle being held by the op is just too powerful. Yeah, there you go. The body is going to be what connects, and Sai is going to make sure that he will put his team at match point.
That was much needed. Rajasthan is like, as I told you, it's mind games at certain times, it's gameplay and strategy at certain times, and that's what Rajasthan did, taking down so many weapons. And also SMX, who was alive, managed to go down. He was nowhere in the crossfire range. He did come back for his teammate, and that's the reason he went down. And now you look at the creds, not that great. Still forcing buys is what the side of Delhi Dragons are doing. But if they lose this round, it's all done and over, because they've done a huge investment of the operator. But Ghost will make that work. He will take an immediate pick. With that, aggression will be punished on MW1. He's looking for one more. He might be able to find one more on Wimp, because he's close on this B opening.
Well, the Bulldog is still a weapon that is very, very strong, very powerful. But the cam gets placed. Badman, he needs to play around, but no, Harsh comes out on top. That is going to let the neural theft be pulled off, and Delhi's position is now known. Rebel has fallen. That's a 3v3. Big advantage for Rajasthan to finish it off right here. But Sai as well as Harsh are going to be low on HP. And the bait with the ultimate. Hika will get taken out by Wimp, but still, oh boy, the Sai is not going to be liking that. Looking around to see Hika and getting shot in the back. Oh, that's not good.
That was like, what was that? But Wimp somehow making a lot of damage, and Harsh, all of a sudden, as we were talking, will close the round, because you saw SMX thought that the spike was in the control, but even Wimp and Harsh did not know the spike was lost there. Only when the Owl drone went in, they saw, okay, there's no spike here. But then that bait, man, that bait worked out really well, but they had to push into garage and to see immediately with that bait. Them not doing it made SMX the lone survivor, and Rajasthan finally again walk away with the win, and Delhi will stay at the third position at the end of the day. Oh
Yep.
my god, what a turnaround that was.
What a turnaround indeed. And well, you have to agree that the side of Rajasthan just they kind of deserved that win after the 2 performances on Bind and Haven. It's not like Delhi did not do well, but Delhi just did not show up as much as Rajasthan did. They just made sure that there was nothing that there was nothing that Rajasthan left to chance. They made sure that they knew exactly where the push had to come in from. They always knew what Delhi was trying to pull off, and when that did happen, well, that went in the favor of Rajasthan. So, well, a good game for them and well played to Rajasthan. But for Delhi, you have some things that you need to work about. You have some things on maps other than Ascent that you need to look and work in on.
Yep, Delhi needs to walk back because Ascent worked really well in their favor. But then you saw Rajasthan understood that their strategy was being counter-started, but then the mind games were ready from the side of Rajasthan when they moved into bind, and that's where Rajasthan played it really, really good. I really like the heaven composition. It was a usual five-man composition that the side of team Rajasthan had, but Rajasthan played it even smarter there. They waited with their aggression. Their aggression was held with crossfires, and their aggression, I really liked it, was timed perfect. You saw MW1 was
Spike
picked up
down
by
B.
Ghost. They knew Ghost will again go for another peak, but Sai, in the meantime, because he understood Ghost will start going further, there should be his teammate who will be trying to go behind him, and Sai peeks him. Sai takes a kill. Sai makes his way back. That through the game, as Ghost, who was looking in B main, was also taken down because he turned around, and that movement was better for the side of team. I guess Wimp was the man who took that kill, and you saw from there, tides just completely turned around in the favor of Rajasthan. Rajasthan played it smarter, and they played the nerve-wracking game that Ascent was played from the side of Delhi Dragons.
I agree. I think that the smart thing that was pulled off by the side of Rajasthan here is once they realize that, all right, you know what? Delhi is going to play a very, um, as you can say, a haphazard game. They are going to be playing a very, a game that is not um, very coordinated sometimes in terms of initial aggression. Like retakes from Delhi are very, very good, but Delhi loses that momentum sometimes. They lose that momentum in the middle, and that is really where
Remaining.
things get very difficult for the side of for the side of Delhi to capitalize. And Rajasthan, they did exactly that. They made sure that no one from Delhi had any clue as to where they would be holding in terms of positions. They always changed the places that they would peak first from, and at the end of the day, that is really what was the difference between both these teams.
Mhm. I mean, end of the day, Rajasthan just came out better.
Yep.
That's how you would like to put it. Rajasthan understood what Delhi was trying to do.
Remaining.
Delhi was trying to play it smarter, where they played mind games. They understood the only way to shut down Rajasthan is to put them in a high pressure situation where they keep making the same mistakes again and again. And that's where Ascent went off in their hands. It was a close match on Ascent, but Delhi managed to pull that kind of a strategy for too long for them to even go into and pull off a map. Now, when moving into bind, it was a confident map for Rajasthan. They've never lost on bind, and that confidence was enough for them, even though they did not manage to get the initial rounds. Then they managed to get rounds on the full buy where they understood, okay, we have our duelists playing. Let our duelists do a lot of the heavy lifting, whereas our controllers or sentinels will play slow. In the same thing happened here in Heaven. The duelists went out fragging. Even they were picked, there was Wemp, Harsh, and everybody else to pick up kills in their favor.
Yep, that's true. I agree with the fact that
Last player
um,
standing.
I don't know if it was Delhi getting a little, as you can say, greedy for kills sometimes, but it clearly showed that attention on the side of Delhi sometimes kind of fell off. Like they were
Mhm.
not the same team that we saw on Ascent. Like the Delhi we saw on Ascent, that Delhi would probably have waited for Rajasthan's push in towards site. They would have waited for uh, they basically would have waited for Rajasthan to make the first move. But here, nope. On bind, they did not do that. I thought that maybe they'll figure that out and change it on the map of on the map of Haven, but again, they didn't,
Mhm.
and they kind of fell prey to exactly what we were fearing. The fact that you give Rajasthan enough time to figure out a push for themselves, they're not going to mess it up.
Yep. Rajasthan just made sure they will not let people go off. And you saw MW1 was just outright popping. He never left out any chance that he had. He was making sure the kills came in his favor. The team did not have something better to work with. And Rajasthan just pulled it off at the end of the day, I would say. They were making sure the kills that were happening were in their favor. The trades that happened, even though they went on a man disadvantage, they were like, okay, let's forget about the round. They immediately forgot of that round that they lost, and they moved into a better half where they could be confident and move across. And you saw that call. I really like that play coming in from Harsh and Sai, where Harsh went into do a lot of damage. Now that little bit, you can as viewers or as us as casters, once you see that, we feel that, oh, he's just done an economy damage, but he has done a mental damage as well, because picking up a kill at the end moment makes the teammates and the team itself feel bad, and that is more than enough in a Valorant and a pro tournament to throw things here and there. And that's where the side of Rajasthan did so many little things for the side of team Delhi Dragons to feel out of their game.
I agree. I think that Rajasthan played it played it smart after losing out it on Ascent. Like
Mhm.
they realized that they cannot play their usual playstyle against Delhi, because if they do, Delhi has a grasp on it and Delhi will figure that out. But what Delhi did not figure out is that Rajasthan, realizing that Delhi is counter-stracking them, will change the strategy that they're playing with. And that is exactly what Rajasthan did. They changed their strategy, and well, at that point of time, it was all down to the fact that Rajasthan just had different strategies of playing the maps, and they didn't use their default ones, they used new ones. Delhi, they were just not sure what was happening, and they fell into that trap of thinking that exactly what is happening, but actually that was not the case.
Mhm. I completely agree with you. But tomorrow we have a match that's going to be even more better, even more insane. It's going to be Bengaluru Crushers, who's trying to make their way back into the points table with, I guess they have around 8 or 10 points, and they need to make their way if they want to be into the qualifiers, because it's getting hard, it's getting difficult for teams now. And both these teams, I think these are the only teams who have played lesser number of matches compared to the other teams in the tournament. So both these teams are looking for a lot of points. Kolkata Tridents, yes, they did have a loss, they did not get the point, but they're looking forward to more and more points as they're progressing to many more matches.
That's true. Kolkata is looking for, they're looking out for blood because they want to make sure that they get into the top four at least. For them, that is very important. Bangalore also, they're sitting right at the cusp. I mean, Bangalore's fifth and Kolkata is sixth. So both of them are essentially fighting for a spot to stay alive. And well, I think that it is going to be a great game coming forward again, because both those teams are not going to give any free rounds. They know that every round matters. They know that every single round is going to change the outcome as to whether they qualify or not. So they're out for blood. They're out to make sure that they get as many rounds as soon as possible. They do not want any time wastage. They do not want any rounds going against them. So, well, when two teams want that, it is going to be a delightful situation to be in.
I mean, as we talk about a delightful situation, is where Team Rajasthan is 16.5 points after 9 matches. Look at the difference that they've made right now. It's 3 points. 3.5 is an advantage that they've got. They were at just 1.5 from Hyderabad Nawabs. Now it's 3.5. That's just too much for a team to be just walking away, even though they have same number of matches played on each other. This is just insane. Rajasthan is walking away with points, even though they did not have a flawless victory with the bonus point. They're still walking away with the lead. This is just hurtful, and this is just going to get even more difficult for the side of team. Uh, for not just a team, for all the other teams in the points table.
Yep, that's true. I agree. I think that um, where Rajasthan sits right now, 9 games played, 7 wins, 2 losses, five flawless games, and 2 regular wins. You have to agree that they are not just a team that you can take lightly. They are not a team that you can say, oh, they got lucky. Oh, they're not a team that plays very well usually. They just get
Hmm.
lucky sometimes, and which is why they win. No, that is not the case. like 15 maps that you do not drop. That is huge. 15 maps you do not drop is absolutely huge. And there you cannot put it any other way. Teams in this competition have to look at Rajasthan and go, all right, what is the way to figure them out? What is the way to beat them? What is the way to uh, take a win against from them? Because two losses, that's nothing. You've they've gotten more points from bonus wins than they've gotten from dropping one of those games. So you get how valuable those bonus points are.
Yep. Too much for these teams. Yes, Hyderabad is at second. Delhi will stand at the third position with 11.5. No points secured. Yes, they did get the first map, but nothing more they did manage to get. As we talk about it, Mumbai is fourth. Fifth is Bengaluru. They have a match tomorrow. Sixth is Kolkata Tridents. 6.5 is where they stand at. Bengaluru, if they win tomorrow, they can match up to where Delhi Dragons stand and they can put down Mumbai Aces. So they need that win. However, for Kolkata, they need it even more because they just have 6.5 in their favor.
Exactly. I think that um, the fact that there is only 6.5 on the side of Kolkata, despite playing the same number of games as Bangalore, that is a very that's a very what how do you put this? That's a very concerning state. But
Hmm.
concerning state is going to hold off because MW1 has finally reached the top of the top 5 leaderboards. He is the highest rated player right now in terms of kills. Well, that is MW1. MW1 9 games played, 515 kills. Rafa closed second with 500 kills at 9 games played. Binks 9 games played, 456. SMX also 9, 447, and Rossi still maintaining his positions with just 6 games, 396. Tomorrow Rossi versus Deathmaker. Deathmaker, if I'm not wrong, has um, has 360 kills. So he's 46 behind, and he needs to make up to make sure that he comes on onto the leaderboard.
Hmm. It's much needed for now. Rossi and Deathmaker, as you mentioned, Deathmaker is a little bit way far behind than any of these teams. So for him to make a comeback here is what I'm looking forward to. What better can Deathmaker bring? Because he's played, I guess, 5 matches for the team, not a lot. So, but look at SK Rossi, 6 matches played. He's already at 396. He's not at all far from where things can not come to him because 2 more matches, I'm pretty sure he'll be making his way near 500. And yes, MW1 stands strong. As I said, 515 kills after 9 matches. He's just being showing up huge. I mean, this man, for the skyscraper from Rajasthan strikers, he's just making sure that's worth it.
That's true. I think that the fact that MW1 is the most expensive player in this tournament
Hmm.
and he's there on top just proves why he is the most expensive player in the tournament. But looking at content creators for a bit, it's Solo who is there at the top still, 324 kills, followed by Rebel at 302 kills, followed by Hydroflick at 251, then Zishu at 203, and then Fatu at 185. So I really love to see the fact that this side of Rajasthan as well as Delhi, not only are their players doing well, but their content creators are doing exceptionally well as good as well.
I mean, Solo and Rebel playing today, but Solo made up huge today. 324 kills. He did play in the first map, Ascent. It was not great for him. He was only managed to keep himself pushing into uh, the judge play coming in through. But now that he has uh, made his way back, I'm looking forward to what better he can do here and how his team can make use of it. As of now, we talk about it. It's Rebel, who's just not that far behind him. He's okay in terms of where he stands, second position. He has played 8 matches, however. So I'm looking forward to Rebel is at 304 kills. He can still make a comeback. He's just 1 match short of where he stands.
I agree. I think that Rebel and Solo, both of them are going to be having a very tough competition between each other. But we will have to wait till the final game to really know who's going to come out on top, because I believe both of them have played the same number of games. So,
Mm,
um,
Rebel has played 8, as
all
Solo
right.
has played 9.
So well, that is even that is basically even better for Rebel, because
Yep.
despite playing a game lesser, he is not that far off. I believe 304 for Rebel and
Mhm.
329 for Solo. So uh, a single game difference. But here's the thing: Solo has played every single game that Rajasthan has,
Yep.
and he probably will as well going forward. So that is going to be a little tough task for Rebel to catch up to. But still, he's played one game lesser. If he's able to still come out on top of Solo, that that really just bodes really really well for Rebel.
I mean, Rebel, we've been talking him in terms of all the content creators. He's been one man that always for the team has been really playing well. I mean, yes, today might not have been a day for Delhi, but he did play up so many kills which mattered for his team. He took up 2 kills at CT in Heaven itself, which was a 2v4 situation. It did not look like that would have been worked out for the side of Delhi Dragons, but he did take 2 kills. He looked like that would have mattered. If his showstopper connected with even one person, that round would have been in their favor. So Rebel has pulled up such games, and I'm pretty sure as we progress, we'll be seeing even more better Rebel growing, and that's what we have been talking about. But as you mentioned, Solo has played all the games for the side of Rajasthan Strikers, and he'll be playing even more till we reach 14. And looking at where Rajasthan, I'm pretty sure he'll be playing even more because they're standing tall at the first position, and most probably qualifying can be a really good chance for the side of Rajasthan Strikers as we speak.
That's true. I think that moving forward for Rajasthan, it's going to be pretty smooth sailing unless there is going to be a big storm that comes in. Well, we never
Mhm.
know whether that happens or not. But as far as things go for Delhi, well, things may not have been the smoothest that they have always been, but they're still looking extremely good in terms of how they are taking maps. Like taking Ascent against Rajasthan, it did not net them any points, but it's still uh, it just goes to show that Delhi is still a team that you cannot write off. They are still not a team that is there just for the sake of being there. They are there because they are actually good. They're that you cannot take away from them. You have to accept that as a fact that Delhi is a very strong team. So I mean, with that out of the way, we have, we have reached the end of
Mhm.
we have reached the end of the broadcast for today. We are going to be heading into, we'll be heading over to end the stream, but it was a great day. Not so much for Delhi, but a very good one for Rajasthan. As we speak about that, it is going to be me, Dr. Dang, signing off along with Lucifer, as well. Another great day of Sky League comes to an end. But before that, here is a short, here is a small little bit of information for you. So as we said earlier, you can like the stream, you can subscribe to Sky Esports, make sure that you turn on notifications so that every single time we are live, you get that notification and you're ready to come into chat. In case you want to contact us, you have our names right below us. Type these into YouTube and you will be getting a way to contact us as well. So with that, we are done for the day. Make sure that you stay inside, stay safe, take care, and keep everyone around you happy and feeling joyful. Bye bye.
Yep. Bye bye.
you